right down. Keep your hands up, keep your chin down. Shut the door. Time to go with Randy Harris and Knockout Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, Knockout Radio with Randy Harris is about to start. So get ready for the best MMA talk, games, interviews, prizes, and surprises anywhere. For Knockout Radio, I'm the voice, Ray Flores. And now, here's Knockout Radio.
Hey-o. Hey, everybody.
What is going on, everybody? Coming to you live and in living color from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. This is Knockout Radio. A lot of things to talk about. A couple cool guests. Well, they're all cool guests. Then, of course, there's Matt McClellan.
Hey, what's up, Randy? How you doing?
Hi, how are you? What's going on?
I'm good, man. Just chilling. It's another Wednesday, another Knockout Radio episode. So, didn't know which character I wanted to be today. I didn't know which personality I wanted.
A calm one. A calm one. I want a calm show.
Really? You want
Yeah.
like the boring, basic, mediocre American citizen?
Well, you're always mediocre and basic, but
No. That's what average people do. Like, I do a lot of different things, but I'll be normal today.
I know you can be off the rail a little. We've got a rejoin liner. All right. So you know how we run straight through the breaks now. So we have a rejoin liner that our content director produced last night. So
Okay.
I keep telling him, up it a little, be a little, do a little. So we're going to have to remember. So remind me, when we go to these breaks at 20 and 40, that we'll throw the live feed from the radio station on towards the end. And so you can hear the liner that Rick did. I think
Okay.
I think you're going to like it. Right up your alley.
Okay.
Right up your
Nice.
alley.
Well, I mean, with Howard Stern's uncertainty, right? There's talk of him not being extended with Sirius XM.
I was going to say
completely.
I was going to say I don't know what you're talking about because I don't. What are you talking about?
Well, Howard, like Stern, like the shock jock legend. I mean, would you call Howard Stern a legend for what he's done in his career?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you not? When you go to anybody, male, female, adult, and say name a shock jock, 9 out of 10 of them are going to say Howard Stern.
For sure. But now his future's uncertain. And Bubba the Low Sponge, your friend and ally of the show, he is petitioned to basically say, look, Howard, you groomed me. Like your audience is my audience. Like, give me a shot, renew my career, put me on Sirius, get me back on the show. So what are your thoughts on since Knockout Radio was on Bubba Radio Network for how many years? I mean, you guys have a long history. So what do you think about Bubba petitioning to get back on Sirius XM?
Immaterial. Good ups. I haven't spoken to Bubba and vice versa in a long, long time. I'm not airing dirty laundry. I don't think there's an issue between Bubba and I. But when Bubba's entire staff turned over, or 90% of his staff turned over, I remember going to the facility, and I used to hang out right next door. I used to help John Gilmore, who temporarily was in a memorabilia T-shirt company, and I would go over there and help him out. And that's how the whole Radio IO thing I brought John over and blah, blah, blah. So I went back one day just to pop in. Radio IO was gone. And, we've always been cordial. He's always been cool to me. And he would tell me, I can't say good things about you on the radio because you're competition, which was kind of like Mask being told that Nike was interested in purchasing. I'm like, I don't know if I'm competition, but, how radio stations is backstabbing and cutthroat and all that stuff. So long story short, I went back one day. They wouldn't even let me in the building.
Oh.
Now, it wasn't Bubba. But it's, how they have like 3 layers to protect Bubba or anybody else, right? I couldn't get past layer 1. I used to walk right in the front door and everybody's like, hey, Randy, what's up? And I'd walk into the back and, I'd talk to Rick or whoever was running the board at the time, for us. But, we've been together at a BKFC and, some fans from these telephoto lenses would take these photos. And then send them and post them and, Randy and Bubba, which was cool. I do remember.
How big was Bubba when he was at his height? Because I didn't know him. Like, I don't think I was in this market when he was big. Like, I think I got here on his tail end after like the Hogan thing, the controversy or what have you. But I was in Denver, I think. So how big was Bubba? Like, nationwide
Massive.
or globally?
Massive. Absolutely massive. And when he went up there with Howard and in the Tampa Bay area, he was massive. And he was heavily involved in all the wrestling because of Hulk Hogan. And, he bought the racetrack and he hung out with Tony Stewart. And, yeah, he was definitely a massive person. I think outside of the Tampa Bay area because he was national. He built that all up himself. So, again, big ups to him. Everybody's, it comes to an end. And with Bubba, it came towards an end and he refused to go away. And he's, continuing trying to build it back up. And, different team and different people. I have to be honest, I haven't listened to Bubba since you and I were on it.
Yeah.
So how long ago was that?
Well, I don't know, but do you think that like you and Bubba's relationship had anything to do with me? Like when they loaded up those like AR-15 style BB guns and we got to shoot the band from a distance and I just went a little Tony Montana. I mean, I literally like say hello to my little friend and I just kept going and they're like, whoa, time. And I kept shooting. Do you think that tarnished your friendship? Or does it
I would hope not. Even though I always say to you and everybody else, and I'm sure every team says the same thing, whatever you do out in public, as stupid as it is, yes, it's you, but it reflects on me. So I don't know.
I did go a little overboard. Okay?
You did.
I take full responsibility.
Yeah.
It felt good. I'm not going to lie. It felt really good. I thought it was a crazy experiment.
But
live
this is where this is where you have to be careful what you do, what you post, who you be involved with and around. And it's not right. And it doesn't necessarily make sense. But if you remember, you were still running toward a pizza and you tried to do a good deed and bring some pizzas to a radio station. It was some kind of charity event. And because you posted a photo of you being in Bubba's studio with Bubba's logo, they wanted no part of you.
Right.
And it's kind of like politics, and other things as well. You always bring up Subway. It's who you involve yourself with. You've got to be very, very careful. We will have a old friend of the show, and old meaning decades long. He should be coming on momentarily, and you will recognize the music when Ed plays it. And we're going to talk about some events that.
But that's my pizza, training. Like I remember moving to St. Pete, and I remember like it was such a small town before the renovation, before this, just build up and all the immigrants and migrants coming here. And I remember, there was such a loyalty. Like if you got tires or your car worked on, if you didn't go to Bob Lee's, then if you were Bob Lee's customer, you couldn't go anywhere else. If you went to Tim's barbershop and got a haircut, you couldn't go to another barber. It was very possessive. Like the local small town St. Pete was very possessive. And I'm like, I feed everyone. I don't care what your color is. I don't care what your political party is. I don't care what your race is. I don't care if you're like your business. Like I need to feed all the barbers. I need to feed all the mechanics. And if I have relationships with all of them and they all can do different things, like, hey, I want to get my haircut today by this guy. Next time I want to go over here and try it with this person, like a different experience, different support system. So I always tried to like share the wealth. And who knows how many doors I closed on myself because of those kind of loyalties where I would take pictures with Drew Gararbo from 1025 The Bone, and then take a picture with Bubba, and then take a picture with Calta, and then take a picture with you, and take a picture with whoever. And so, yeah, maybe my circle's too big, like maybe.
That's not it. You are, when you own a restaurant, you are supposed to, you're feeding the entire world. That's your job. But when you then start reaching out and making political statements, hanging out with certain people, if it offends other people, it's going to hurt your business. It's going to hurt the entertainment. People that don't want to go see Bruce Springsteen. And I just happened to see something, one of the late night talk show hosts who I normally don't watch, talked about Henry Winkler went to go see Bruce Springsteen. And he kind of said, well, we'll come back to Bruce Springsteen. Remind me because I won't remember.
All right.
I am so flaming.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Quit playing with your dinghy.
All things just keep getting better. And now, Mick for Hair presents Queer Eye for the Sports Guy with Mick Ferrari.
All right, so it's been a while since Mick's been on. Mick has a few things to talk about, a couple pretty important charity events coming up. So, Mick Ferrari, the floor is yours.
Randy Harris, how are you? I haven't heard my theme song in ages. How are you guys doing?
We're doing well. A lot of things to talk about. A lot of cool events coming to town, and you have one that's kicking off. I believe it started this week. So fill the nation, fill the global up with it.
Well, it actually was started this Tuesday, the 11th of August, but it is going on to the 14th of December, and that's of course our Kind Mouse Food Drive. Now, I've served on the board of the Kind Mouse for the last 10 years. We step in to feed our Tampa Bay's hungry kids on the weekends. We create the snack packs for the feeding programs for kids. There's like 17,000 kids with food insecurities in Pinellas County. About half of those kids are chronically hungry, and that's where the Kind Mouse steps into the breach. And we feed these kids, and our back-to-school food drive did start this week. It goes on till the 14th of September. And local businesses participate. It's very easy. It's not too late to sign up. All you got to do is check in at thekindmouse.org, and they bring the bins for your food collection. They bring you promotional materials. You just let your customers and clients and people who patronize your business know that you're conducting your food drive. We come pick up the full bins, and we are looking for volunteer drivers. It's a great opportunity, just 2 or 3 hours a day, 1 day a week, to come collect these foods. We have food drives about 3 times a year at holiday time and again in the spring. We're right in the middle of our back-to-school food drive, and it's going great. You can participate. Go to thekindmouse.org. There's a lot of things coming up with the Kind Mouse. Our mistletoe market in St. Pete Beach on the 12th of December. And like I said, we are looking for volunteer drivers to help out. The Kind Mouse has done great things in our area thanks to our corporate sponsors and businesses like our salon Sheer Artistry Studios, where we are currently donating at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park. Come by, bring your snack-sized food items, anything that you think is appropriate for a kid's lunch. And that's our most needed. And you can find out more at thekindmouse.org.
Perfect. I know we want to get involved. We're going to try to set some of those barrels up at locations, that we frequent. And we're talking about, places to frequent here in the Tampa Bay area and where we should go. There's also another event coming up about a mutual friend of ours.
Yes, we're your best buddy and mine, Artie Fletcher, comedy legend, actor, author, and superstar. Artie's had some health issues this past week or two, and Artie's done a lot in the community. He's big in the music business here locally, and has toured nationally and appeared with a lot of classic comics like Gallagher and Jimmy Walker, and the list goes on and on. And God bless him, Artie suffered a stroke a week or so ago, and he really is in need of a lot of support. So his family has set up a GoFundMe for him, and our good friend Bobby D from the Full Throttle Band Tampa Bay and we are having a benefit at CJ's Backstage, and we want to thank Sherry and Josh over there at CJ's for putting us on Sunday the 23rd at 1 p.m. I will be emceeing, and Bobby's got a great lineup of bands. We're going to be auctioning off and raffling off some Artie's memorabilia and stuff, and to support him so he gets better and can get back making people laugh is what he does so best. So.
Perfect. And what we want to do here at Knockout Radio, and I'll drop it off to you, we'll donate a gift certificate where somebody can join us during one of our live shows, here either in the Tan Talk studio, the Cool Breeze AC studio, where they can just, tune in and log in through the StreamYard. But make them presentable, because I know you're not today.
Well, I was not expecting to come on, and I was not exactly camera ready, but then I tried to pull it together and was trying to jump on the stream, but I decided to call him instead. It was best for all concerned. Okay, so I appreciate you guys so much. The Kind Mouse appreciates you, and I know our mutual friend Artie Fletcher appreciates some support from Knockout Radio also. P.S. Randy Harris, has my new spot dropped yet?
It does run today, yes.
Oh, terrific. Well, we'll all be listening in on that.
Got it ready if he wants it.
Yeah, I got to play it for him now. Go ahead and play it.
Hi, this is Mick Ferrari from Mick for Hair at Sheer Artistry Studios, located at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park. And let me tell you why you should come see me at Mick for Hair. First, I'm fabulous. Second, I've been in the hair grooming business for over 40 years. Check me out at our website at mcfairhair.com today. As Knockout Radio's longest running sponsor, and I'm talking decades, I know how hard it is to please Randy Harris. Randy has walked out of restaurants, doctors' offices, even airplanes. But I've been cutting Randy's hair for over 25 years, and he keeps coming back. Now that's a mic drop.
Well, I didn't know which one you were going to play, Ed.
I feel like Mick, I added my own little twist to it, but Randy didn't want me to play it. So
no, it's terrific.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. That's so great.
hey, Mick, I wanted to ask you, with all these new software updates and stuff, how's your Gator been running these days?
Well, you know, in my day, you could tell by a man's carriage and demeanor what bread inside his bread was buttered on. But nowadays, you know, all the kids are fluid.
You mean you can't go buy their shoes anymore?
Oh, no, those days have passed. God bless them.
Damn.
All right, Mick. Thanks for your time, buddy.
Hey, I want to
I
talk to Nick.
appreciate-
I didn't get to say anything.
Hey, what's
What's up,
up,
Mick?
Matty? How are you, brother?
I'm good, buddy. Hey,
Speaking of Gator,
as a
Matt, how's
Yeah,
it going?
speaking of Gator, Matt, what's on your
Yeah.
mind?
Yeah, I give off. I think I give off gay tendencies. At least that's what my boyfriend says. But
Well, you know,
as
they say
a
if it walks like,
as a former two location, kind mouse drop off donation center, I just want to say you guys run a fantastic organization. Anyone listening should definitely be a part of what you're doing because it's fabulous for the community, for the schools, for the kids, and for all the volunteers. Everyone, top to bottom, is amazing. And I would love to be a part of the RD Fletcher event. So I'll get with Randy and
Oh,
coordinate
yeah,
that.
Matt, please come through. You can co-host with me. That'd be great.
Done. I would love to. It'd be an honor. So
All right. We hope to see you guys at DJ's Backstage in St. Pete, Sunday the 23rd, 1 o'clock. Like I said, Bobby's got a great lineup of bands, Full Throttle Cafe, and all kinds of other performers are coming out to support Artie. So we appreciate y'all's support as well.
All right, Mick, take care. All right, that is Mick Ferrari. Stop on by and say hi. We're running right into the break segment. If Ed lets us know, see, we're supposed to not run commercials on the YouTube channel. So we're trying not to do that. So if Ed can pop in just before the rejoin, is ready, that way you can hear our content director. So. All right, so we're going to continue moving on. I think this is how we're supposed to do it and move them out of the.
So let's go.
So
let's go back to that Bruce Springsteen story.
All right, so Henry Winkler was talking about that he went backstage and he was still wearing his backstage bracelet, and does that make him look bad? And he's seen him so many times, and he's fantastic, and he's this. And then it was what's his face from L.A. Kimball said, well, he puts on a great show as long as you are politically on his side. If not, a lot of people don't like it. And people leave and they storm out. And that's a dilemma. The dilemma is everybody has a right to speak their mind.
Sure.
But if people don't agree with what you're trying to say, so when you did what you did and you had a right, you were there, Bubba was me and Bubba and me, et cetera, et cetera. Well, people that Bubba was having issues with and vice versa, now you have to choose. Now, I've got to be honest with you. I've never choosed. I've associated with both of those people, and anybody in the Tampa Bay area know who we're talking about, Bubba and Mike Calta. I'm friendly with both. I don't have an issue with both. But I think it's different if you come down to good, close friends. Casual acquaintances, people you say hi to, and we go back to the whole Daniel Cormier story, where Daniel Cormier kept talking, I believe it was Connor, and he's pretty tight with Khabib. Now, when you're tight, it's different than, just cordial, hi, how are you, hello, as you walk by. And Cormier first said, no, I don't have a problem with Connor. And Khabib's like, yeah, but I do. How can you hang out with somebody? We're supposed to be boys. We're supposed to be tight. It's a slippery slope.
Well, and that's like in the sports world and the sports bar world, especially. If you have a watch party bar, like a Bears.
All right, hold on.
Hey, it's Rick, content creator for Knockout Radio, which is actually just a fancy way of saying I give Randy and Matt something to argue about. Back to the Boys, streaming live on YouTube.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, I love
it. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So he sent me a bunch of them. And, I sent one to Ed. I'm like, yeah, let's run this one. And then I listened to the last one and I'm like, that's perfect. Because it's true, because he sent some games to us, some things that we're going to do and attempt to do today and each and every Wednesday.
But the whole point about sports bars, if they're too loyal, like all the banners are like Chicago. If you're in a place like Florida where everybody's from somewhere else, you're shutting off. There are people that will not go in that establishment if they see a logo of a rival. If Curtis Blades, who wants to fight Brett Favre in a fantasy fight because he was a Packer and he's a Bears diehard, people spend their money with their voice, with their opinions. So I always tried to be neutral. I didn't even have Buccaneers memorabilia. I was more cycling where nobody even knew what that was or who the participants were except Lance.
Right.
But it kind of was a neutral sport for me where it wasn't like people were so diehard because their city is their people. That's their vibe. Philly, New York, there's certain teams.
No, you did Torta Pizza properly. It's when you now are branching out, doing other things. It's where you have to pick and choose. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. But, when you go and say you're in a fight and you're getting sponsored by whoever, well, their competitor is going to say, hey, what are you doing? It would be like, let's be honest, if I went and got my hair cut anywhere but from Mick.
Yeah.
He's been cutting my hair for 25 years. And then I go to Jim's or Bob's or whatever. And, so it's a slippery slope. Now, when you're the stylist, you'll cut anybody's hair. When you own the pizzeria, you'll feed anybody. But once you start that conversation and politics comes up, or even, like you said, sports teams, somebody says to you as you're making a pie, who's your favorite this? And you say the Eagles here in the Tampa Bay area, people are going to roll their eyes.
Yeah. For sure.
Now, the flip side, I saw something on TikTok, Twitter, one of those, whatever. A guy was doing the best Eagle bars throughout America.
Okay.
And he goes, you walk into an Eagle bar wearing an Eagle jersey, it's like your family.
Sure.
They accept you. They start talking, but wear that Eagles, wear a Bears jersey into a Packer bar.
Right. Well, and you have like Bill's Mafia over in Palm Harbor, that opened up. It's all themed for like the Buffalo Bills, so if you have a loyal fan base like that, you can survive if you have enough of those people in the area, but you can't rely on just game day to support your, community pizzeria. So it's the balancing act.
It's a slippery slope. The whole thing down at Ferg's, America's #1 sports bar. And they did a big deal with the Cubs. When the Cubs came to town, and a lot of people were upset about that. You're a Rays. And, let me switch. And it's not switch. When will the people at ESPN become professionals?
Oh, boy. Boy, they do now.
Well, they do the same thing all the time.
Still calling St. Pete Devil Rays the Tampa Bay team.
Yeah, they say Tampa.
Yeah.
Well, they're running down the scores. The Boston Red Sox beat the Braves, and Tampa lost to Cleveland. Well, Tampa doesn't have a team right now. You want to shut me up? Move the Rays to Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, the Joke World Comedy Tour, like they're doing the little reel promos, and all the actors are like, hey, when's the Joke World Festival? Oh, I think it's in August. Oh, is that Tampa? Yeah, it's Tampa. So, like, even on a national scale, people just lump this area together, and Tampa being the airport that people fly into, being the major city compared to the other side, it's going to always be the #1.
Well, it could be #1, but
that's why I moved here. That's why I moved to this side of the Bay, because I felt like it was a better. Now, see that statement is going to divide people on my Facebook, my social media, my Instagram, because I built my reputation in St. Pete. My network is in St. Pete. My history is in St. Pete. But I feel like Tampa was just a better place for my family.
Thank God we kicked you out.
I mean,
St. Pete is a better city without you. But, with that said, and it's funny, my wife lost her stuff the other night. She couldn't believe. Guess who I got in an argument with? Guess.
Your granddaughter.
I got in an argument with Meta AI.
Be careful. They're smart.
No, they're stupid.
Okay.
And that's what I kept telling them. So, I was having them do something, voice a commercial. I didn't know this. You can get AI to voice commercials. So it doesn't have to be the same two voices that have been on Knockout Radio for 40 years. Ed's or mine. So we did the spot, by the way. It's back. The food fight is back.
Yeah, nice.
It's coming up next month. We will have some tickets to give away. I am very happy to let you know that I got your wife a ticket. So she's definitely going.
She deserves it. She deserves a nice meal out.
Absolutely. And she will be there with me, and I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, so they send me the script. All right. If you send it, I don't have to write it. It's all perfect. They left out in St. Pete. So when I'm having AI voice this commercial, I caught it. And so I go back, AI, what are we, just tell me the two words, Randy. Oh, well, first what they did was, so I'm taping it from one phone to another. Okay. Because I don't even know if you can do it on one, and it was easier. So I said, okay, I'm going to count it down. 3, 2, 1, go. When I say go, start the commercial. Okay, Randy. I get the phone ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Randy, the commercial is ready. And then this person started. And I'm like, no, you dumb. I'm arguing with AI.
It's hard to argue with because they're always so positive on their responses. They're like, I understand your concern. And and that makes you even more mad, right? Like the response.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
But going back to the food fight, that was another situation where I got myself in trouble by opening my mouth. Because, food fight champion, Chad Johnson, chef from Bern Steakhouse, legendary restaurant in Tampa.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the wide receiver.
Oh, he passed away,
Right.
at 47 years old, I believe it was. And so I was on social media publicly talking about how toxic commercial kitchens are, that we have to do something to protect our chefs, our culinary from toxic fumes and absorbing it in their skin and blah, 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 blah. And some people associated with Burns thought I was, making light of his death, like that I was, that I was somehow mocking it, or I don't even know how they took it. But I was just trying to highlight, as an industry, we have to do better. As a former owner, like, I wish I would have had the knowledge I have now, so I could have protected my staff. I could have invested in them differently, invested in their health, invested in their well-being, and protecting them from the workplace hazards. We do it in mining. We do it in coal mining. We do it in auto body. We do it in painting and construction. We know how important the respiratory system is to survival as a human. But in the commercial kitchen, there's no protection, And so I failed my staff. I failed myself. I failed the people that were closest to me. And I just was making a point that even our top culinary chefs, it's a very toxic industry, can be a very toxic industry. And I just wanted to use that as a inspiration to make a difference, make a change. And we lost Ken Dorsey. The list of top chefs in Tampa is getting smaller by the year. And these guys are my age or younger, which is alarming. It should be alarming. And so by being public with like how I feel personally, I know that I probably closed down some relationships in that process.
Yeah. Well, again, you have to be careful. Timing is everything. You obviously didn't mean anything negative by it, to the chef, but now put yourself in their shoes. They just lost their friend, blah, blah, blah. They hear you saying that. So yeah, it's totally different going from a business owner to being in the public. Doesn't matter how big, how small, what your platform is. A platform's a platform. Speaking of platforms, did you see about the content creator that's been banned for life from Walmart?
I heard something about, but I don't know what he did. I saw the memes.
He bought people's groceries.
Okay.
And I guess allegedly, I've seen it on social media. I did Google. Dr. Google's never wrong, right? That they thought it belittled their customers. And so banned from Sam's Club, Walmart, and their gas station, whatever.
Look, I was at Sprouts the other day, and there was a veteran who was in a wheelchair, obviously a veteran. You could tell the injuries were from serving. And his steak that he was buying and food, it was like, I don't know, $17. I'm gonna make it up, $20. It was under $20. It was like 17 something. And I offered to pay for it because I knew the cashier, Patrick, at the Sprouts. And I was like, hey, Patrick, put it on me, man. I got that. I'm like, thank you for your service. And he was like, no, absolutely not. And he got mad. He was like, not mad, but he was more insulted that I attempted to pay for his steak, but look, man, this freedom that we all live in isn't free. And those men and women sacrifice a lot, everything,
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
So like, it was just my way of contributing because I'm too old to serve our country in that capacity. Like, and I wish I wasn't. I wish that there was a change to the military code. I wish I could go and defend our freedoms because you know what? I was too selfish when I was younger. I was too money hungry. I was too hell bent on being successful and an entrepreneur and having all the accolades. And, because in your 20s, when you own a business, you're celebrated for that. Now everybody has an LLC. Now everybody's a CEO. Everybody's an entrepreneur. Everybody's got dog walking or credit repair or content creator. So now there's no flex. Now being an entrepreneur just means, what do you do for currency? And is it making you healthier or less healthy? And then what can you do in your power to change that outcome? That's it. That's what being an entrepreneur is to me at this point in my life.
Right.
Anyway, sorry.
No, it's the world's different. And you go and open a door for somebody. A handicapped person comes in or a blind person comes in and they're like, no, I got it. And I don't think that they're upset that you're doing it. They're just upset that they don't need it. It's how you treat people. So I hope I know our stream is working, but I'm not sure if the link, because I know it was hard for you to get in. I know it was hard for Ed to get in. I'm hoping that I hear from the UFC. We have 3 UFC fighters coming up. Hopefully Victory Wednesday. I don't know if you watched Big Steven last week.
I did see Steven. Actually, everybody won. I said the Steve Miller band, right? Because Steve Miller band, legendary band. And there's 2 Millers on the card with Steven Asplund. So I put Steven Miller. That was my bet. So when we talked to Jared at Inside the Distance, he'll confirm that was indeed my pick. I don't know what the odds would have been if I would have picked that parlay. So maybe he can tell us or fill us in.
Yeah, I lost.
Yeah.
Everything I bet, I lost. Lost a couple units. And I went to win. I went to win units. I didn't go to win the fight. So I took a couple underdogs. How about this? I thought I was friends with somebody. Okay.
Yeah, that's always a eye opener.
Not a good spot when you think you're really tight with someone and you're not. I'm still hoping that I get an email from the UFC so I can update the stream to them. So our friends at Knockout Entertainment put a post up that they were looking for a couple fighters to try out their new rash guard.
Okay.
So I said, I'll call my guy, best jiu-jitsu around. I'll call David Vieira.
Yeah.
Well, I text David Vieira. He responds right away, tells me his size. And then he tells me about a up-and-coming fighter in the UFC that I know, all his group, because, anybody in David's group is my group, et cetera, et cetera. And he tells me who it is. And I said, oh, okay, great. When's he fight? And he's like, today. I go, he's on tonight's card? He goes, yes. So he was like the second or third fight, right?
Okay.
So I'm watching the fight. I even put $1 on him or $2. And I don't know, it might have been round 2. My wife's sitting on the couch. I'm watching it, and I start letting out a scream. Guess who's there? I thought we were friends. David Vieira was in the corner. So when we texted, he didn't tell me, I'm here in Vegas. We fight today at 6:00. He's like, yeah, he fights the third fight. And then I see him. And then afterwards, he kind of photobombed when the fighter was being interviewed. You could see him kind of like moving his head. So I slowed it down and I got the picture and I posted it everywhere. Look who's photobombing. David Vieira.
So you think that's a sign of like not being a close friend or more of it's just like when he's locked in on like his task, he's like, it's all business, doesn't need any distractions. It's like trying to protect his fighter from outside noise.
I'm going to say, first of all, I think he's one of the closest friends I have.
Okay.
He's that guy and his brother that you could go 2 years and not speak to him. And if I showed up at the gym, he'd kiss me on the head and tell me, all right, let's go get your gi on. I stayed with him in Rio. He was my bodyguard in no, it has nothing. And what a lot of it is, to be honest, is he understands so little English. He still can barely speak it. He speaks it, but A, with an accent, B, the little that he speaks. And we even joke about it because I said, send me your address. And 4 times he sent me his email address. And that's when I called him. And I'm like, I need your mailing. And he goes, oh, I wondered why you kept, in his broken, you've spoken to him. Yeah.
I mean, I speak to him in Portuguese. So that's because I'm fluent.
Well, that's why he speaks in German, because he doesn't want you to understand how badly he's ripping you and making fun of you.
No, but speaking of little English or Method Man is from Wu-Tang Clan.
Ironically, we went as a family to, I think it was Carson Daly, had a daily show. We were in LA going, we did some stuff in California, and then we were going to a UFC. We went there, and Redman and Method Man were both guests that day. So yes, I know who he is.
All right. So he basically a couple of years ago set a new goal for his life. He's like, he's always successful and all this money and fame and success, but never had his GED. His taxes and his finances were a mess, and his body wasn't in shape. And so he set a goal to do all 3. And so he went and got his GED, after he's successful, after he's already, 45, 50, 47, whatever age. So your thoughts on going back to school later in life, or you see athletes go back and get a diploma after they've already been, an NFL star or whatever. What do you think is the motivation behind it? What do you think the value is, and is it worth it? Because I've got 2 years left to get my bachelor's degree in college, and I'm tempted to go and do it just to show validity personally. It's kind of like having a mobile gym. People think of it as a mobile salesman or something on the fly. So it's not as credible as a brick and mortar. So I always think about, well, should I have a practice? Should I have actual location where people can come to me, and then I can, combine biohacking, exercise science, and neuroscience, longevity into one practice? But then I'm trapping myself, it's like, what do I want my day? Sitting in an office waiting for people to come in under fluorescent lighting, away from sunlight, inside a building, because it's a medical complex. So what do you think about?
I think the premise of you pulling up somewhere is more enticing. I wish David Vieira would come to my house and train me, because I would train with him at my house.
Okay.
I'm not driving 47 minutes each way, not counting traffic, to get to Trinity. Let's be honest. He used to have a gym about a mile from my house. And I didn't go that much.
Same number of attendants.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I've been to Trinity twice, and I trained, fairly regularly for a while. Where my house is, and it was it was a little more than a mile. I bet you it's under 3 miles. I bet you it's under 2 miles. It was convenient.
But is a BS college degree worth it in today's world? Is it BS to have it? Does anybody care? Because I'm accredited with 2 global accredited neuroscience certifications. Plus I was a pro former Mr. Universe. So I have all the credentials. My resume speaks for itself. My trophies speak for itself. So go and pay for
obviously it doesn't, because people want to see those degrees. My wife, who just recently retired, if she lets her medical license expire, she can never get it again.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Because now
the system renewing it every year, getting that fee. That's
smart. Well, it's not necessarily yes and no, and the reason is because when she went to nursing school, she went to a nursing school, and it's not a degree. So she does not have, as do most older medical professionals. There used to be the trainer of the New York Mets. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. It may come to me. His son owned. I don't know if he still does. Gulf Shore Sports Store in Pinellas Park. And I would always go out to the Mets and see him. And this guy was one of the best trainers in Major League Baseball, probably ever. And same thing. It was a different time. Now you need all these degrees to prove you know what you didn't need to prove before. You didn't need 6 years. You needed 3. You needed 2, whatever. Mr. McKenna was the trainer.
But I think the problem that I'm running into is that the certifications that are available now are so far behind from where I'm already at with the neuroscience, with the evolution. Even when it comes to like baseball training, there's a guy named David Weck in San Diego. You can look him up, Weck Method. But he does this thing here where he folds his 2 fingers over and he's taking out the slack in the arm with the tendons and the tissue, the fascia, to prevent Tommy John injuries from baseball. So he's teaching this new internal rotation, stretching internal tissue to like not overstretch, because now there's research coming out that if you do stretch, that fascia that holds the bone and everything in place, it's like a rubber band. Once you stretch it out too much, it doesn't come back as firm. So fighters, before they go out in the back of the arena, warming up, sparring, doing leg kicks, whatever, they're actually making it worse. Like there's now a new push to not stretch before competition.
I've never heard that.
You can look that up. That's the Human Garage on podcast or on Instagram Reels. His name's Garry. I don't know his last name, but he talks about how stretching before is actually a hindrance. So, things are changing. So the things that I believe in, the things that I personally practice, you can't get a certification, because if I go get a NASM or something that's accredited in exercise science, the stuff that they teach, I wouldn't put my clients through. I wouldn't do plyometrics for people with compression and knee issues, ankle issues. Like they're training from like the 1950s or 70s. Like they're still doing the Arnold Schwarzeneggers. They're still doing the Rocky Balboa for boxing training camps. That stuff is so old and outdated. There's no value there for me. And that's where I run into my problem, because like I can't go and get one of those. In my heart, I just know it's wrong to like preach something I wouldn't ever do to myself.
I understand that.
So
I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed that it appears the stream's not, or the link's not working. Because I think I had earth-shattering news for Mansur Abdul-Malik.
Oh, yeah?
Being from Philadelphia, I knew this right away. So Mansur's nickname is the Thinker.
Okay. I like it.
There happens to be the Thinker Monument is within walking distance of the Rocky Balboa. Yes.
That's the guy that does this?
Uh-huh. And it's within walking distance of the Rocky Balboa statue in Philadelphia.
All right, so you walk up to that statue. You're up in Philly.
What are you thinking about?
Yeah, so what are you thinking about? Like, you got one thing to think about. What are you doing if you're there right now?
Why am I here?
That's so dumb. That's really your answer?
My answer would be why did I stop at the Thinker statue that I've seen numerous times when I lived there, or when we've gone and traveled up there for events, because it's so close to the Rocky Balboa statue, when Sean and I could be eating more pizza or cheesesteaks.
You wouldn't think about like, why is the earth flat, or why is the earth round, or why are there aliens, or why is Antarctica off limits? Like, you're not going to talk about any of the things that you like. Is the Bible real? Is God real? Like you wouldn't ask any of these. Did Rocky Balboa, is he a real athlete? You wouldn't ask that question.
No.
Was Rocky a true athlete? Was Sylvester Stallone a professional athlete?
No.
He just played one.
Yeah. He's an actor. Rocky Balboa was an athlete.
I mean,
but Sylvester Stallone wasn't.
Okay.
Santa Claus is real, not the imposter who played him at a Phillies game and then stumbled out on the field and got booed.
I mean, yeah, I guess I see your point.
And is there God? Is there a God? And is the Bible real? Could be two different questions. They don't have to be the same answer.
You could ask, are the Philly fans the worst fans in all sport? You could ask that question.
You could.
That would be controversial in the hometown, though. I mean, that would be another one of those open your mouth and insert foot.
But that question has problems, because depending on A, where you ask it, like you said, but B, how many people are going to have a different opinion? Are the old Oakland Raider fans worse than the Philadelphia Philly fans?
Ooh, that's a good one.
You know, not the Vegas Raiders, not, you know, the Los Angeles Raiders, the old Oakland Raiders. Now, I've told this story. I went to an Oakland Raider Tampa Bay Buccaneer game, and I was severely disappointed because they were not as bad as we've all been told they are. I've also been in Philadelphia for events, and let me tell you, they are as bad as you've been told. They are awful. I don't know worse fans. Physically. Really? Oh, yeah. You know, like they do, you know, the Ohio State has had some bad incidences. I mean, there's bad incidences everywhere. But, yeah, I do believe the Philly fans are as bad as promoted.
Was it the Philly fans that threw batteries at John Rocker? Was that a...
No, I believe that was in New York.
Okay.
And I believe John Rocker even was riding the train to the stadium. And yeah, I believe it was in New York.
And so the hatred for the other team was so much, or was it the personality of John Rocker because he was disruptive and, you know, arrogant or cocky or whatever you want to call it? Was that why they hated him? Like,
yeah, it was John Rocker. No, it was John Rocker.
So it was actually a personality conflict.
Yeah, you know, John Rocker made some statements and some comments and blah, blah. I don't remember what they were. We'll find out.
I just looked up on Google. Go ahead.
No, I just sent to the UFC, and one of the PR people has forwarded the stream that I sent to the link that I sent to you and to Ed. And so hopefully that's the problem. And I don't understand with our new producer doing some stuff. I don't know if it's changed it. I don't know. I don't know the stream there. Go ahead.
Would you like to guess the 5 most dangerous things thrown into sports? The 5 most dangerous objects thrown into sports. Number 1.
Oh, okay, we'll do that today.
All
but
right.
Let me explain something to you for the 487,000th time.
Yeah. Okay.
That would have been your involvement, your participation, your whatever into Mount Rushmore. What is your Mount Rushmore of items thrown into?
Okay. All right.
You know, to get stuff outside of, you know, I'm trying to do this outside of the box. I don't want to say, what's your Mount Rushmore of MMA fighters? Even though I got a good one for you.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore of female MMA fighters. And does the female that is coming to Tampa in next week, I think, is she on Mount Rushmore's female fighters? And that is Chris Cyborg.
I think she is. I think she makes the cut. I think she's on there.
My first, and you know, we had her on the show in Vegas and thoroughly enjoyed it. And you know me, I'm always like my first, and then I'm like, let me look up something. And most people don't realize that Chris Cyborg was a UFC champion because somebody told me, yeah, she was so successful outside of the UFC, but like a lot that go to the UFC, you know, from other organizations, it never seems to pan out. Well, Chris Cyborg did win a UFC title. I believe she only has 2 losses. One of those 2 losses is when she lost the UFC title to Amanda Nunes. So I'm just saying, yes, tell me what's been thrown in, but next time say, hey, I got a great Mount Rushmore.
Well, going back to the women's Mount Rushmore, would you put Nunes, Cyborg, Rousey, and
Balashchenko,
maybe
probably.
Rose?
No, I wouldn't.
Balashchenko, but Rose went and got her title back after she lost it. She was the first one to do that in history. So, like, I think that puts her a little bit ahead of Shevchenko, even though Shevchenko's so dominant.
Yeah, I don't. And Rose is a friend. And Rose will probably kick my ass for you know, not agreeing with you. But I think keeping the title for so long, I think kind of trumps winning it back.
And in a few weeks, Rose will actually be in Miami doing a life event, like an empowerment, like well-being, healthy event. So she'll be down there as long as Derek Lunsford, who's competing to win his next Mr. Olympia competition. So they'll be on stage speaking. But going back to the most dangerous items thrown into sports, number one, sex toys, Randy.
That's dangerous. Okay.
It's throwing those onto the basketball court or risk serious ankle and knee injuries if players step on them mid-play. I think somebody should tell them they're probably not sex toys. They're probably just actual real parts, because these NBA players I've heard are packing some heat. They're probably just stepping on them.
But
you know,
have you seen what's about to happen in the WNBA? They have a problem. They have an issue right now.
What are they?
Because I guess they are supporting transgender. I believe. We don't follow. We don't do a lot of research. Blah 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 blah. And then the player from Indiana made a comment, getting a lot of hate. So I believe I know one. It could be two. Former NBA players have said, "I identify as a woman. I want to play in the WNBA."
Oh. I like it. I
do
like
too.
it. Bro, we're going to get them on the phone. We got to call the commission, and that's man. I would say bring Shaq back, but there's a video of him last week where he tried to dunk a basketball and couldn't get up high enough and then fell onto the ground.
Have you heard what Shaq recently said?
No. About his son.
No.
His son?
Well, I don't know about his son, but about the biggest mistake he's made.
No. What was that?
I know he was more driven by money, and he left the Lakers for money. And he should have stayed in LA.
Oh, wow.
And you don't think of those things. Of course, you don't know Shaq's going to be Shaq. You don't know the Shaq that was playing, even though he was very successful at that time, would go on and be, he invested, smart investor. Took stock in these major companies instead of taking money. So he did learn. But anyway, back to you.
No, but his son got a tryout for the Sacramento Kings, and he just sat him down in a real conversation. He's like, "Is that really what you want to do?" He goes, "I lost my family. I lost my family." He's like, "How many birthdays did I miss? How many school plays did I miss? How many sacrifices did I make?" He's like, "So you wouldn't have to." He's like, "Are you sure you want to do this with your career? Because if you do this, you have to be great. You have to sacrifice everything."
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "And I lost family because of this. I lost, the things that are the most important." And so then his son's just sitting there very just kind of, humbled. And he's like, "Why don't we just take over Reebok? Why don't you just do something financially with me? And we just take Reebok and make it the number one brand. And, you don't have to go do basketball because I chose basketball, because I had a gift or I had an opportunity." It's a different world we live in today. And you see a lot of these athletes not wanting their kids to go through the same kind of thing they had to do or endure. And so I think you do see a shift in that. But speaking of the Lakers, looks like they've been sold.
Not looks like.
Yeah, the former Disney exec, I forget his name, Michael Igor, and
isn't Igor one of their characters?
Igor, Igor. It is. But look, I'm sure all those characters got more money than we do. They could probably buy.
The interesting thing about it is they just purchased the team.
Right.
The group that just sold bought it last year
for $10 billion evaluation. Now
he made almost $2.5 billion in less than a year.
That's crazy.
And they said that he didn't want to sell, but when he's offered an amount of money that he can't refuse, how do you turn down making? Well, when you're worth that much money, what's another $2.5 billion, right?
But I don't get the investment in pro sports like that. I mean, the valuations keep going up, but the cost to the fan is so astronomical between tickets and drink prices and food, concessions, parking. I mean, how do people afford to go to professional sporting events when the valuations keep going higher? Because
here's my problem with your statement. Here's my problem with the statement you just made. And I don't go to games because of cost. I don't go to concerts because of cost. I don't not go to games, concerts, because of concession prices. If you want to say anything and everything else, it pisses me off when people say it. somebody goes to take a family of 4 to a Rays game. It's this and pop. Well, no, you eat before you go. I probably can't tell you the few times I've ever bought food at an arena because it's expensive. And I'm cheap. I'm frugal, whatever you want to call me.
All right.
I'll make continued trips back to my car to take a sip of Diet Coke before I'll spend $9, But you want to say anything else, the cost of tickets, unbelievably expensive for almost anything. You want to say parking, but don't say parking when it comes to the Tampa Bay Rays because there's so much free parking on the street. So to say I can't go to a Rays game because I can't afford parking, no, there's street parking.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you have 81 home games and you want to be a diehard fan or connected to a team, but then that same fan is being pulled to like football and hockey and now with like even Saturday night, you realize that MVP had an event in Orlando. I was at the Wake Up and Dream event in Ocala for the WBC Silver Championship. You had UFC on, you had bare knuckle boxing on. I mean, you had all these things competing for the same viewer.
Uh-huh.
Like for the same night, same combat sport fan now has to decide which discipline they're going to watch or spend their money on, pay for the streaming or for the pay-per-view or what have you. But it just seems like there's so much opportunity or so many distractions now.
Sure.
I can't imagine the Lakers being worth $12 billion. I think it's a diminishing product.
All right. Well, let me be the first one to tell you within the last 13 seconds, they are worth $12.5 billion because they just sold for $12.5 billion. So obviously they're worth it. People are not going to spend that kind of money if it's not worth it. And that just goes to show how much money these teams are making. Sure. I remember, and I tell this story, how naive I am. And I know I'm naive. I'm sitting in the press box at Tropicana, and I'm talking to a head umpire, and we're talking about the Rays and, how they're not this and they're not that. And, they're not, profitable. And he looked at me and he goes, "You don't really know what you're talking about, do you?" I go, "Well, that's typical." No. And he said the Rays at the time were like the third money-making team because they're not spending it, but they're making it. The TV revenues, this revenues, and baseball's going to change from what I've been told. They're probably going to strike next year, and it's going to change as we know it. These deferred payments and everything with what the Dodgers just did. The Dodgers just picked up another Cy Young winning pitcher. Money's no object to the Dodgers because they're deferring it and they're making it unfair. Not to get off on that tangent. But no, you're right. There are so many things to do. Saturday night, I can't go a lot of times to anything because the UFC's on. And then we get these athletes on, and now we kind of feel like, hey, we've got to watch so we can talk about. And I wasn't going to miss last week with Asplund fighting, because he's us. He's part of us. I told my wife we're going to Minnesota, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I just feel about that.
Oh, she's like, can you go tonight?
Yeah, right. I mean,
why are you waiting?
So apparently the world record's like 65 minutes inside that booth. They take away 2 senses. They take away your sight and your hearing. And so you can hear your blood, you can hear your heart, you can hear your tendons. But the world record's officially like 60 minutes. But then
you're in there solo. There is no way that you're in there solo.
And then there's a YouTuber who did 105 minutes he did 105 minutes, but it was not official Guinness record. So I think if we do it, we got to get the Guinness people there, and we gotta really. I think we can do it, Randy. I think I can do it. But I have a hack though. My hack is that I'm gonna just stimulate my autonomic nervous system on the vertical gym first, and then
because the gym's gonna help. Yeah,
that's 100%. So then I just stimulate, and then I could go. Of course, it's and then you could sense, and then you could weather any storm.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, that's my strategy. We'll see. Maybe I walk away with another Guinness Book of World Record. Speaking of Guinness World Record, you know what I have a Guinness World Record in?
Stupidity?
No. It's your favorite subject. It's your favorite junk food. It's everyone's favorite junk food, I think.
Is it? Ring dings?
No.
Swiss rolls?
No, I'll give you a hint. It's greatness. his favorite
I don't
junk
know
food?
who that. I don't know who that is because I have 57 greatness people following me now. So
Well,
I don't know who he is.
It's watermelon. I was a part of the world's largest watermelon eating competition. And nothing is more dangerous to a bodybuilder than a bowl full of sugar when you're in a caloric deficit trying to get on stage. And it's a hot day and you see that big bowl of sugar sitting at you in the fridge and you just can't stop eating once it touches your lips. And so Greatness is doing another event, $100,000 giveaway coming up in September. So
good for him.
I think we should go, Randy. This is our
that
Powerball.
Dude, it's not his fault that I wasted hours. So yeah,
it's your fault for being early and punctual.
Yeah.
Do you still expect people to be punctual in today's world?
Do I expect? No, I know they're not going to be punctual.
Do you just expect that they won't be punctual?
Yes.
That's the world we live in because nobody's on time anymore, right?
Except for me.
That's true.
And I've been late a few times. I'm not saying that I've never been late, but I tend to be very, very, very early.
But don't you feel like that's? Don't you feel like that's it can be a good strategy, but also because you leave so early, don't you miss a lot of like the things that go viral at like arenas, things that happen after fights, things that happen in the back or after emotions are high? Like, don't you feel like as a journalist you've missed big moments because you leave so early, like press conferences or what have you, like after the fight, then you're just on the road?
Which are we talking about? You were talking about me being early. You're not talking about me leaving early. You were talking about me.
Well, I'm saying, but you get there early so you can leave early. Like that's the strategy you have. So like,
you know what I still want to find out? Who won the main event of World Class Fight?
Yeah, because you're a referee and you left before you got the. Well, yeah, you're a judge, and you left before the verdict was announced.
Well, there's no reason for me to stay.
Right, but because they have to ask questions about your scoring or like what you did. You should still be on premise. But being on the highway, like calling back to find out who won.
I did that once. I've only done it one time.
That's a diabolical move, man.
All right. Hopefully the link is getting fixed, but since it hasn't yet, and unfortunately I'm pretty sure that we're going to lose out on the Malik. I don't know the name of the game yet. Okay, but we do have a game.
All right.
And I'm going to do round one, and we do have going, gone that we're going to be doing as well. So I have some paperwork here. Thanks to Rick. There's going, gone. All right, I'm going to show you an item. And you're going to tell me what it's selling for on Marketplace.
All right.
And, of course, I can't find it. Oh, here it is.
That's great.
All right. So we're going to do – so we'll try to describe it, but it's going to be a little bit difficult because we're live on the radio network as well. Let me try to pull it up so that I could get the description. Talk about something else. What else is on your mind why I pull this up? And you're going to tell me what this item is selling for on Marketplace. What's on your mind?
Oh, my thinking question of the day?
Yeah.
I want to know why the Earth was going to lose gravity at 10:33 this afternoon or this morning. There was supposed to be some kind of top secret NASA information that got out, and the whole world was going to lose gravity for 7 seconds. So I just want to know, did anyone lose gravity today at 10:33?
I don't think I did.
I don't feel like I did either. But speaking of natural phenomenons, Colombia had a massive earthquake. Buildings were crumbling, and starting to see more and more shifts in the Earth's crust. So tsunamis and earthquakes. I mean, it's a wild world we live in.
What happened? One of your three winning bets, Miller, talked after about an issue, and then I saw a video of total destruction. What happened to that? Was it in Seattle?
So it was like wildfires. I think it's in Seattle or in Washington State, and I believe she went up there and she's basically raising money, fundraising, to be able to stay on site and help people find shelter that are displaced or to just do resources to help the community get back on track. So shout out to Juliana Miller for killing Miller.
I reached out to her and I said, if you want, I've got some clothing, that I can send some T-shirts and some purses and such. So, all right.
That'd be cool. Everybody wearing tap out shirts up in like Seattle.
Exactly. All right. So here's the first item.
Okay.
That was on Marketplace. It is a Blackstone pizza grill turntable.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need more of a detail or is that enough?
No, it's a stone. Yeah, Blackstone.
Okay.
It's got propane. Got 2 pizza peels with it. Looks like it's been weathered, so it's been sitting outside for a while.
There's some surfaced rust. It needs a new turn-on valve. The propane regulator and new caster wheels, so that's good. Operates with power adapter only, no batteries. I didn't know that they worked with batteries. Comes with 2 pizza paddles.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How do you want to play this game? You want to do an over/under? Do you want 3 guesses?
Yeah, give me 3 guesses. I'll tell you what I think they probably listed it for, and then I'll tell you what they actually probably get for it.
Okay. Now, obviously, you have to take into that it has rust. It needs the new button. So there are a few items.
I'd say they're probably trying to get 150 for it.
Okay, this game sucks.
Why?
Because that's what it is. It's
I'm a pizza guy. That's what I do for a living. Talk about like you should have brought up like a sports memorabilia card or
the number 2 item. The number 2 item back in the day. Let me get it for you. I want the exact info. This is a vintage item. Was available, I believe, in the 70s. It was made in China. There's more. You might like this. It is a vintage. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It is a vintage Sports Illustrated football phone.
Nice. All right, so
it's untested.
Okay.
It'll look good in a man cave.
It does. So I do have a similar item. I know, depending on availability of how many are on the market, this was listed for 60. Just because you couldn't find them. There's the only one available, and I had literally like 2 days to grab it, so I couldn't shop around.
All right, we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it.
I offered 40 and was accepted.
All right, that's nice. Let's get rid of the football. We'll get back to that because we're gonna do what we're supposed to be doing, and that's talking about this weekend. Can you hear us all right, Charles?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm trying to get this camera to
there you go.
Stop switching up on me. There we go. Oh no.
There you go back.
Yeah, I'm trying to lock it sideways, but it keeps flipping back. All right, let's just do this.
I don't know how any of this stuff works. I'm old. All this.
Hey, you ain't that old, big dog. You ain't that old. Come on now.
Yeah, if you only know. I've covered the UFC. Yeah. I've covered the UFC. I've covered the UFC longer than you've been alive.
Hey, look, that's amazing.
Started at UFC 1.
Wow.
So yeah.
You the man.
So I might look good, but my age will tell you differently. So you're in my hometown, born in Philadelphia, love Philadelphia. Have you gotten out yet? Are you walking around Philadelphia, or it's a work trip?
It's usually just a work trip for me. Where'd I go?
Your camera went off. There you go.
There we go. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I did that. All right. Yeah. It's usually a work trip for me, but because I'm in Philly and I've been a Philadelphia Eagle fan my entire life, I've been trying to make like amends, move around and see things. I've been here about 3-4 times, so I'm actually, I enjoy being in Philly. I hate the parking, but I enjoy being in Philly. So
I would say that I hate some of the people, and that's my family. But my family's up. Well, I was also stationed up there, and I was coaching a 12-year-old baseball team. And it was like the first couple of weeks I'm there, and I was taking some of the kids, and one was basically a nephew, to Atlantic City. I cut somebody out, and at a red light, they got out and punched my car. I'm like, I haven't seen stuff like that. That's Philadelphia.
Sound about Philly.
Exactly. So, what have you seen? Whether it was this trip or other trips, what have you seen about
I've been to the art museum and seen the Rocky Stadium before it was moved recently. So I want to go back because I heard they put the Joe Frazier statue up. So I want to go back over there and check that out. And I've been my good friend here is Jordan Burroughs. So he's like 7-time world champion.
Yeah.
In wrestling. University of Penn, because he trained there a couple years ago when he was still wrestling and competing. So I've been to the University of Penn, and I haven't been to the track yet, but I've been in the wrestling facility. Yeah, and other than that, I've been to like around I went to the Eagles practice yesterday. That was great. So I didn't get to go to an Eagles game yet, but that's in the near future for me. And I'm gonna have to go to a 76ers game now too. So
Well, there's a contact there, a former UFC PR, Dave Scholars with the Sixers.
You the man. You can connect me. There we go.
I can do that. Now, are you a Phillies fan? You said the two. Did Phillies know?
I'm from St. Louis, so you can guess about that one.
Well, I'm a former St. Louis Cardinal bat boy, and I'm still a Philly fan. I'm a Cardinal and a Philly. You can be both.
I've never really tuned into baseball unless it was the Cardinals, if I'm being honest. I don't have anything against the Phillies. I just never really tuned in unless it was the Cardinals.
I'll tell you a quick story, and then we're going to talk about your fight. So I'm bat boy probably before you were born with the Cardinals. They used to train in St. Petersburg, Florida. And the equipment manager's was using and abusing me, and I'm fine with that. I got to hang out with Keith Hernandez and Lou Brock, and it was just the best time ever. He's like, all right, kid, at the end of practice, I want you to take all of the jerseys and wash them and dry them and take care of that. I'm going to go grab lunch. I'll be back. I've never washed clothes. Yeah. I don't know if I've washed clothes now, and I'm in my 60s, right?
Yeah.
So it was all the baby blues that they still wear. And I put all these jerseys, and you're talking, like I said, Lou Brock, Ozzie Smith. I mean, legends, right? In these massive, big tubs. And I put a big helping scoop of soap. I'm like, let me put another big helping scoop of soap. Ran the whole thing. Guess what color those baby blues came out?
Bleached white.
They were bleached.
It was not good. Yeah.
Not good.
Not good. I already knew that was going.
Yeah. They're like, you're never doing that again. And besides, we don't ever want you here again. And Keith Hernandez stepped up, and he was able to keep, me there and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's my Cardinal story. So
yeah,
I'm a big Cardinal fan.
Shit happens, brother. Shit happens. It happens often. And it happens often. Sometimes to us, and sometimes around us, so it's all right. That's life.
Are you still designing the shirts?
Yeah.
Because I think last time you were on, we talked about it. Any new designs? Any new products we can talk about? I think Charles froze.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. The camera froze, but that's fine.
Yeah, someone was calling me. I think I can turn it off. One second. I'm gonna turn off so nobody can call me. Let me see.
Hold on, don't turn it off yet. No, I'm kidding. I got a call for you. I got the phone's for you, Charles.
There we go.
All right, Charles. Look, so there's another Charles in St. Louis, the Charles Lindbergh, another pride of St. Louis, like yourself.
Yeah.
Funny fact, the history is often rewritten. So Randy's so old, he was actually on this first solo flight with Charles to, across the pond. But I have this old phone. It's a classic St. Louis, Spirit of St. Louis. Classic.
That's pretty fire, bro.
So you get one phone call to call out anyone from history to step inside the octagon against you. Who are you fighting? Real or fictitious, alive or dead? Who gets that call out from Charles Johnson?
Real or fictitious? I think you said dead or alive?
Yep.
Dead or alive, real or fictitious. It could be anyone.
I'm going for a GOAT. I'm going for somebody that I idolize. I'm going for Bruce Lee. Come on, bro.
Oh, Bruce Lee.
Come on, Bruce Lee. Everybody wants to see Bruce Lee in the octagon, including myself. That would be amazing. You know? So yeah, definitely.
Can't
A lot
argue
of
with that.
No, a lot of fighters have said that. A lot of fighters have said Bruce Lee. I got to tell you, my favorite one so far is Curtis Blades.
Yeah.
So Curtis Blades is a big Chicago Bear fan.
Okay.
He wants to fight Brett Favre.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I don't know who else I would call. Maybe KD for splitting up the best OKC Thunder team ever.
There
Yeah,
you go.
maybe.
Hey, I
There you
like
go. Well, somebody you didn't call out that I know of, but you're fighting this weekend. Talk about Jose.
Yeah. Fun fact: I'm not fighting Jose anymore.
Oh.
So as of last night, it's all over social media now. I have a new opponent. So I'm fighting a different Brazilian this week. Another guy who's a stand-up fighter, very similar to Jose. I just want to send my prayers out to Jose and his team. They lost a close friend and training partner this past week, and you know, in the MMA community, like the guy was 34. He had a heart attack. He was in the UFC as well. He fights in my weight class, Alan Nascimento. And I've heard nothing but good things about him, and I met him a couple times. And unfortunately for the MMA community, he's been lost. Last week, he had a heart attack. So I just want to send out condolences to their team and let them know that, you know, the MMA community is supporting them in this tough time, and his family. And you know, it's a good time for MMA to show like the good part of MMA, in my opinion. And and better for me to, you know, accept a fight against someone new during fight week and give him an opportunity to make his dream come true as well. And it's unfortunate for me, you know, it's probably gonna mess up my placement on the card and things like that. But I think it was more important for me to just be what I was always looking for too, for someone else, you know, an opportunity into the UFC. And my job is always still the same. I'm gonna do what I do. But I just wanted to say that. And you know, as far as the fight goes, it's gonna be business as usual. I'm excited to go in there, get to work, and more than likely, hopefully get a finish come Saturday.
Well, first, beautiful words.
Yeah,
I didn't
amazing.
know, and what I try to do, and what we try to do here on Knockout Radio, is I don't really follow other people. I don't read social media. I don't call these interviews. I call them chats. You know, when
Yeah.
I chat with an athlete, I just want to talk, and whatever comes out comes out. And so I apologize for not knowing that.
No, it's fine.
Awful news.
It's all relatively fresh and new within the last 24 hours. So yeah.
With that said, and with you now having a new opponent, obviously awful news, and why you have a new opponent. A lot of times I ask, in a way, does it rejuvenate you for the next couple days, that it'll keep you busy? You're going to have to do some whatever because it's a new opponent, or
No, at this point, the process is the same and routine is the same. You just, you know, because they're such a similar style, they're different, obviously, but they're such a similar style. I don't have to change too much. And I am thankful for that. You know, it's hard when you go from like a striker to a grappler, you know, and you've been preparing for a different style of fight for months, different certain training partners, a specific thing. But for this fight in particular, it's a great fight for the fans still. This guy was the LFA champion. I was the LFA champion when I left. Down the line, he became LFA champion. He's a striker. He's a fun fighter, and he's Brazilian. He's gonna come come to fight and change his life, right? So for me, nothing changes as far as routine, as far as approach to a fight, and you know, it's always a lot of good energy going on within these next few days because the fight's here, something you've been preparing for. Me necessarily, it's like, I don't know if you guys know, but when I signed my last fight and I fought June 27th, when I fought that fight, it made me the most active fighter in UFC history with a minimum of 15 fights in the promotion. And I fight every 98 days. When I fight this fight on August 15th, that number is gonna go down to every 94 days. And I think the next closest person is like 110 or something in the UFC history for active days between fights, with a minimum of 15 fights. So I'm on a very busy schedule the last 4 years since I've entered the UFC. and I love being active, and I love the opportunities I've been given, and I'm very, very comfortable and excited about these type of situations at this point in my career because I've kind of put myself in these situations enough times on my end, right, and been given took risk. A lot of guys don't like taking risk here. So I'm excited about that. As far as my end of it, not thinking about anyone else.
Hey, Charles. So when you talk about the active, schedule you have, we know how important performance is, but what are you doing for recovery to be able to perform every 94 days?
Yeah, yeah, I know where you're gonna go with that, but brother, I recover 4 or 5 days out of the week. I have 3 different PT guys, and I hit at least an hour, hour and a half with them. Monday and Wednesday, I have the same guy. Tuesday, Thursday, I have the same guy, and Friday, I have a different guy. So 3 different guys. I'm doing. I rent out a hyperbaric for a month from a company that I work with for about
Yeah.
$1,100 a month. So I do hyperbaric at night for at least an hour and a half, or after a session. On one of my sessions in the afternoon, I do my strength and conditioning 2 days a week, and then the other 4 to 5 days a week, I train 6 days a week, but the other 4 or 5 days of the week, Monday through Saturday, Friday is my off day. I usually have PT every single day that I train at some point in time.
Brilliant.
I didn't know if you were going to bring up all the things that
I
you
was going to talk about, like the red light therapy, cold plunge.
Yeah, I have. So
sauna.
I have a red light sauna in there. I have
Yeah.
cold plunge. I have a cold plunge. I have all of those things, and that's all a part of the recovery. And when I go see my guys at Ram Sports Performance, they have my PT guy there, Alex. He does dry needling for me and stem treatment, and so I'm constantly looking for ways to keep the body going. I'm 35, but I feel way better than I felt when I was 30, 31 because I wasn't doing these things, right? And so now I understand as a professional and a real athlete. Like I feel like I'm a real athlete at this point in my career. These past 2-3 years, how I've been operating, that I understand this a lot better, and I'm using that wisdom to make sure I get even more longevity out of my activity and what I'm doing in the sport.
So what I want to do is I want to offer you open red carpet to come to Tampa, train with me. I'm in the biohacking industry.
Hold on a second. It's Tampa Bay. It's Tampa Bay.
Home of
I
the
would
St.
love
Pete
to.
Rays. But I have a vertical gym that stimulates different parts of the brain on demand without
Amazing.
compression, without cortisol, without adrenaline. So we can mimic the fist fight without the negative hormonal dump. And then
Wow.
when you go to Vegas, Randy's great friend, my friend, John XD, has the OsteoStrong Bone Density Lab. So we'll be able
Okay.
to strengthen your punches, make it more impactful. And he can teach you some techniques on how to use bone density, static holds, time under tension, and force-driven movements to protect your joints and make your punches
Correct.
more instinctive and more impactful. So we'll connect
That's
you.
amazing. That's amazing. Those are the type of things I love to hear, brother.
That's
Yeah,
it, baby.
I'm be itching. I'm be itching to talk to you about that and see you in Tampa soon.
Well, before you get to Tampa, I'll bring you the gift certificates and I'll give them to you after your victory on Saturday when you come into the back room.
Let's go, baby.
And talk to the media. I will be there, and I will hand you the gift certificates on Saturday.
My guy, Randy. Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
How will you? Final question for you, and we certainly do appreciate your time. How will you relax? How will you not think about the fight on Saturday over the next couple of days?
Easily. I drove here 18 hours with my family. So I got my babies here. My son's 11 months, my daughter's 3 years old, and my wife's here. And that's my support system. My sister's here. She's our nanny. She helps with the kids. And I got my full team here. So that's easy, brother. Just kick back here, hang with my son, hang with my daughter, do what we would normally do in a normal routine of a day. And the fight's the fight. When it's time for me to lock in, I'll do that. But I love them being with me during fight weeks because, I don't like feeling like I'm in fight mode all the time. I train hard. I train so much. I train 3-4 times a day when I'm in camp, and I've been in camp all year, as you guys see now. This is my 4th fight of 2026 in August. And so It's a heavy schedule for me. So having my family around is very important to me. Having my babies around and just being able to, they change the mood. They make me smile. They make me happy. And it takes my mind away from what I'm doing to provide for them. But when it's time for me to go to training thing, it's easy for me to just, okay, I can keep it compartmentalized a little bit and go back to what I need to do. So it helps me a lot.
Before I throw the underhand lob so that Matt can ask another dumb question, what I also want to do, I did know that you had 2 small children, and we like to give gifts, thanking our guests for coming on. And a lot of times, the athlete has everything, and I try to get stuff for the wives, and the wives have everything. So now I direct it to the kids. So we're going to send you out 2. They're called fantasy pets. They're 3-dimensional printed. They're dinosaurs. And
Nice.
I will get your.
She loves the dinosaurs right now. Gia's into that, and the unicorns, all of that. So,
I will get your address Saturday in the media room, and I will have both of these mailed out to you for your 2 children from us. From
3D printed, dope.
All right.
That's amazing.
All right, Charles. So you're talking about like traveling with the family. Shaq recently went on a show with his son, talked about the sacrifices, the schedule, being a pro basketball player. And when you talk about how you're an OKC fan, now that the NBA is up for grabs, jump ball, who wins the 2027 or 2026 championship?
Man, I hope Russell Westbrook signs and comes off the bench for the 76ers and they go do it. Yeah, that's what I hope.
76ers is your pick.
I would like to see Bron do it again at the ripe old age of 102. That'd be amazing.
That's Randy's age. That's Randy's age.
The things that he's doing at his age, we've never seen, and they're gonna continue to make excuses for why he's doing it. But we've never seen an athlete from 18 to 42 do what he's done, and it's just amazing to witness and be a part of as a fan. And in real time happen, and it's just an amazing story to me. So wherever Russell Westbrook goes, I would love to see him win a championship, and LeBron continue. Like, I'm rooting for him to win again, and Philly and them get a championship.
Let me tell you about Philly. I'll end it with this. So, like I told you, I was stationed there in the Navy. I'm coaching these 10 to 12-year-olds. They call me up one day, and they go, "Coach, what are you doing?" I go, "I'm getting ready to go to bed. What are you doing?" These are 10, 11, and 12-year-olds, and they go, "The Sixers just won the world title. We're going and flipping cars in the streets." What are you talking about?
Right.
So yeah, let's root for the Sixers, but maybe not to have cars flipped over.
It's gonna be, it's gonna happen regardless. But yeah,
good stuff, Charles. Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the next couple days. Looking forward to seeing and meeting you on Saturday. I'll get your address. We'll get the dinosaur sent, and enjoy the process. Have fun on Saturday.
My man, thank you, Randy.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right, bro.
Stuff.
All right, Mo. Later.
See ya. Good stuff. What a good guy. I can't wait to hang out with him. And
so I don't want to go too nerdy on it, but look, I've even got the blood flow restriction bands on as we do our radio show.
Of course you do.
I'm stimulating growth hormone and stem cell naturally, nitric oxide naturally. So I feel like I'm winning the game, buddy. And that's what I'm trying to do for like hospitality. Like,
all right. Speaking of winning the game, back in the octagon this weekend, let's welcome to the show Dustin Stoltzfus. Dustin, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Not too bad. Correct me if I'm wrong. You were born not too far from Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, Lancaster.
Okay, that's what I thought. Have you been to my city? I was born in Philly. I was stationed in Philly. Have you been there before? And if so, or if not, now that you're there now, what's your thoughts on Philadelphia?
Oh yeah, a bunch of times. It's usually where I try to fly in and out of when I'm here. I'm a bit more of a country boy, so I don't go into the city too much unless I have to. But Philadelphia has always been sort of my home base or my main connection to the outside world as well.
Well, that's good and bad. For us that know about Philadelphia and Philadelphia fans, being your connection is good. It's also bad, if you know what I'm saying.
Not quite, but yeah. I
Philly,
mean,
Philly fans are known to be a little out there. It's they just wins, losses, whatever.
Yeah, Philly fans are always crazy.
Craziest thing that's ever happened to you during a fight, whether it, to you, from you, something you've heard, a thought. What's the craziest thing that ever happened during a fight?
I mean, the craziest feeling was definitely the knockout against Marc-Andre. Just just really letting it go, and then not even feeling the hit connect and just watching him drop was definitely a very yeah, super interesting feeling. I was went really well, and then just the euphoria of that was just amazing.
Did it look like slow motion? A lot of times fighters say it seemed like it took 2 minutes, from the time the punch till the time. Did it look and feel like that?
Yeah, people were telling me that it was super wild, and I was like, I don't remember it being wild. I remember each one of those punches coming in. It was like, as you said, slow motion. The rest of the fight went by pretty quickly for me, but that couple seconds felt like half of the fight.
Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, it's, Dustin. So I've always wanted to ask this question, and being in proximity to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, how much of their martial art background came from the Amish mafia? Like, I remember watching the TV show, and those guys were, yeah, like, do they have electricity? Like, they're just trained in a barn. Like, how much of that is applicable to the UFC?
Oh, we were going out every night on Rumspringa and roughing boys up. No, nothing. Other than just hard farm work. Now, I did not grow up Amish, but I do have Amish relatives, and I'm definitely towards that side of the Pennsylvania Dutch culture over there. As a parent with my name, Stoltzfus is pretty much the most Amish name you can have. But just hard work. We got thick bones and a tendency to just put our nose down to the grindstone and get work done. And then starting physical labor, started my first job on the farm when I was 12. And so that obviously does something to your body that you can't imitate without getting that hard work in while you're growing.
All right, so let's switch it from talking about MMA in Lancaster and in the States. What's the MMA circuit like over in Germany?
It's really, really growing, especially with Octagon coming up now. It's actually funny. I get stopped sometimes wearing my UFC gear. They're like, "Oh, UFC, that's like Octagon, right?" I'm like, yeah, sort of.
Yeah, it's very similar, same shape.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really exploded with that new organization, and so it's become a lot more mainstream. Training in Germany has always been technically very good. There's a lot of really good kickboxers and kickboxing coaches. The grappling scene over there is maybe not the most famous, but there's a lot of people who really know what they're doing. So the technical level is very good. The competitive level and sparring partners is always a little bit tricky, which is why I've started training a lot more out in Las Vegas for fight camps. But I feel like the balance is really nice. My time's off, I get to focus a little bit more on technique and learning, and then go to Vegas and brawl with the boys.
How many times has the UFC been out there? I know of one because I was there. Have they been there more than once?
In Vegas? Oh,
no, Germany. In Germany.
Oh,
I know
Germany.
they've been more than.
Like,
There'll be another one in Vegas next week.
Germany, they haven't been there in a really long time. I think they've been there twice. I know they've been to Oberhausen and Cologne.
Right.
But those have both been years ago.
Okay, so I went to the one in Cologne, so I had to take 2 buses, and I mean, I loved being there. I thought it was awesome. Give me your thoughts on your opponent. We'll get all the work stuff out of the way and talk about the fight on Saturday.
Yeah, Mansur's a good guy and a good fighter. I know him a little bit from our time at XC. We've mostly trained parallel to each other on the mats, but we've had some light sparring rounds together. So I know he's a good guy. I know he's a good fighter. he gives some good and interesting looks out there. But yeah, I think he's still a little bit green, but that'll change fast. I think he has a lot to learn, and he'll probably go out and do that in the next couple of years. But I definitely think there's a couple of areas where I can really capitalize on maybe some inexperience, or maybe just his style leaves some openings. So
I got to be honest. I know, Matt, you've got a question or two, but talking to you right now and talking to you about your opponent, and I've covered the UFC since day one. I started at UFC 1. I've covered the UFC longer than anyone in the world, and I enjoy talking to the athletes when it's not about I hate my opponent and I can't stand looking at them, and it's got to be and I'm a WWE guy too, but WWE and the act and all that. That you both can be professional. You both can. This is your job. Your job's to fight. His job's to fight. We'll fight, and there's no bad blood. So I appreciate that coming from an athlete.
Yeah, I just don't know any other way to do it. I'm not a terribly mean guy, and I know Mansur's pretty nice. A lot of fighters are super nice. I know. Shout out to my boy Puna. We fought, and I see him every day at the gym when I'm in Vegas, and we have a great relationship. So it doesn't have to be all bad blood. Yeah, you can just be chill about it.
All right, well, let's say it is bad blood, Dustin, and you got one call out, and you can go anywhere in the world on this map, a solo flight to call out anyone from history to step inside the octagon against you, alive or dead, real or fictitious. Who gets that call from Dustin?
I'm just not a guy to pick out fights. I do whatever the boss man tells me to do, and I just do it. I don't even know. Outside of my profession, I don't want to fight anyone. I just want to stay at home.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer.
So I'm good. I don't need to pick fights with people.
So let me ask you this. Marcus Jones used to play in the NFL. He was the #1 draft pick of the Bucs one year, went and fought at UFC 100. And he would always tell me, I don't like football. I'm just good at it. I get paid to play football. I would rather do something else, but I make a lot of money and it's good money. And so is that the case? I mean, do you enjoy fighting or are you just good at
it? Fighting itself is iffy. Like getting into the cage and fighting is a little iffy for me. Sometimes I really like it. Sometimes I have a good time. Sometimes it feels a bit more like a chore, but I love training. I love martial arts. I love being on the mat. I love wrestling and grinding and hitting mitts and sparring. I love all of that. And fighting is just the natural extension of that, actually competing. But yeah, I'm maybe a bit more of a nervous guy when it comes to actually fighting. So I don't know. It's definitely mixed feelings when I get into the cage, but I love everything else about the sport.
All right, final question for me. What's the difference between an interpreter and a translator? Because I know that's your wheelhouse. That's what you do.
Yeah. So an interpreter that is someone who verbally translates. So if one of us wouldn't speak the same language and there would be an interpreter sitting beside us, they would be the ones to tell you what I'm saying and tell me what you're saying. And a translator is someone who works with text. So that's more what I did. I'm not a talker. So I just sat in front of the computer and translated text.
Perfect. Go ahead, Matt.
All right, so Dustin, going back to like the fighting and the camaraderie and the respect of the sport, how that's a shift. We just saw a bereavement replacement with Charles Johnson, his opponent. Switched last night because their training partner Jalin passed away of a heart attack on August 3rd. So you're starting to see. I never really thought of bereavement in combat sports. Like you don't really think of it, but in corporate America, if you lose a loved one or someone close to you, you take a leave of absence. So this is the first time I recall something like this happening. So I do like the way this sport is going. You can still go in, do your job, do it with intensity, do it with, style and flair and pride. And at the end of the day, you're all human beings and it's one family and everybody cares about each other at the end. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. People forget that fighters are just people and we have a lot going on in our personal lives. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. It gets me every time when I see people being mean to fighters online, like guys that I care about, guys that I know that were going through a lot of stuff, and then people just trash them, and I'm like, these guys are just doing their best. Like enjoy the fights, like be critical to their fighting ability or whatnot. That's fine, but
Maybe
yeah,
maybe that's your
don't be
maybe
mean,
that's
guys.
maybe that's your call out. Call out the keyboard
Yeah,
warriors. Quit being
all the
mean.
mean
Yeah.
people on the internet.
Well, I don't, we just don't need to get mad when they mess up their cheeseburger that they're making. So, I mean, it's, we don't get mad at them, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Good stuff. Dustin, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Enjoy the next couple of days in my hometown, and I'll see you Saturday in the media room.
All right. Appreciate it.
See you, Dustin. See you, bro.
Good stuff.
Dude, what a great dude. Like, I love that. I love that call out. Like, I don't want to fight anybody unless the boss man tells me to.
Good. I always feel really so weird when I hit that button that says kick from studio.
Yeah, don't kick them. But I was always curious about the Amish Mafia, man. They seem so, like, impactful, like seem so ready for anything up there. So it's good to get some inside information.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I can't wait. We've got a plan over the next 3 days. We're going to shoot some really cool video. I'm taking the photographer, the videographer, the itinerary maker. We land in New York City. We're going to eat our way through New York City. Even found a place that we can leave our luggage so we don't have to lug it around, schlep it around. Friday, obviously, we'll cover the real weigh-ins, and then renting a car and driving to Hershey, Pennsylvania. We're going to go to Hershey Park. We were going to go on Sunday because Sunday's roller coaster day, National Roller Coaster Day.
All right.
But it just made more sense. It gives us more time. We may drive through Intercourse because it's Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Hey,
Easy.
It's a city. I did it. I threw you an underhand softball.
Yeah.
It's called Intercourse, Pennsylvania. It's not too far from there.
I should live there. I think I'm moving. That sounds like a lovely place.
Saturday, we're going to hit some more cheesesteak pizza shops. We'll go to the fight. You're going to like what's coming up, though. So we'll finish roughly 1:32 a.m. Sunday morning, and we'll go back to – we're changing hotels every night. So we're not in the same place. It's just giving us easier access. Sunday morning, roughly around, I hope by 8 o'clock, I've inquired about a driver, an Uber driver. And so we will have an Uber driver roughly from 8:30, 9 a.m. at the latest until we get back to the airport Sunday late afternoon. Would you like to know who the limo driver or Uber driver is?
It's Waymo.
Either that or Travis Thompson.
Oh, dang. All right. All right.
So hanging out with my guy, love that guy to death. We've hung out numerous times. We were in mutual cars. This time we're gonna, beg rides from him. We've gone to.
Does he still have the BKFC mobile billboard and the BKFC one license plate?
I'm sure he's never going to give that up. He could leave BKFC. He could have a falling out with the Feldmans, and he would probably never let that go.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of let go, Jeff Houston wasn't the ring announcer last week on the BKFC, and I'm all about giving people new chances because change is hard and everything's different, But man, it shows levels to this game. And Jeff had a different voice and resonant sound and just excitement for the sport. And that's a big loss. It's going to be hard to watch that now. No disrespect to the new guy. I mean, I don't know him. I'm not throwing shade on him. It's a hard job. I've tried it myself. I've stepped in those shoes. But they're going to have to find somebody quick. I think they need to go bilingual. DJ Tony's such a big Spanish, culture, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, Mexican, Guatemalan, what have you, that they need to have a bilingual interpreter. Spokesperson. So I think if they really want to be global.
Well, which is it? Hold on. Which is it? Do you want a interpreter or do you want a bilingual ring
announcer? Yeah, so he can.
All right, well, there's a difference
to the crowd. Like for when a fighter's from Puerto Rico, he can do it all in Spanish or whatever.
I don't think you can do that. What I think you'd want to do is have them do both, not one or the other. Like, honestly, I stopped filming because sometimes when the question is in Portuguese, the answer is in Portuguese. Now, sometimes, Fabiano is there and he'll translate it, but sometimes he's not. So for the English speaking, and we've already had an issue with our YouTube channel of translation. You speaking Japanese is not going over very well.
Well, but English is starting to not be the main language in some parts of the country. I mean, if you go to Miami or South Florida or South America, as I call it, English is preferred second to Spanish. I just saw a report that Modelo just became the number one selling beer in America, replacing Budweiser and all these.
Well, that's because of the world's most interesting man.
That was Dos Equis, but that's a different brand. But Modelo is
shows I don't drink either one. So
right, it's more of a Hispanic.
Here's my 5-gallon Diet Coke.
It's more of a Latin flavor that they enjoy. So, but Modelo is the number one beer at the time. So America's changing. The culture's changing. The minorities will change, like shifting.
But Americans still celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, that's because the French quit. The French gave up in the Battle of Puebla.
Well, that's something new.
Look at Mexico. And then we decided to celebrate as Americans and, Cinco de Mayo. But that's just like celebrating Columbus Day. The dude never even made it to the mainland. He got lost in the Caribbean. So it's everything we know has been programmed to us. Like, it's just stupid. Anyway, I could go on forever about that stupid concepts.
All right, are we done with the Sports Illustrated football?
I'm going to say $40.
All right, let's put it back up for our YouTube channel. I think we should purchase it. And when I say we, I mean you.
All right.
$15.
All right. Well, I mean, that's because it said not working.
Yeah, well, you don't.
But I've never seen that one. And if it's really collectible, then it's worth it, for sure. But this one's the Sports Illustrated. This is what all the men remember getting.
Right. Well, that's what this is. That's what this is.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know the actual Sports Illustrated one, but
my thinking was in case you throw a temper tantrum and spike it, you throw it away, you lose it. You'd have a second. Guess what I did last night? Speaking of football phones.
Okay.
Guess what I did last night?
I have no idea. The Bucs training camp, right?
Well, the Bucs training camp, they had some scuffles with the New York Jets yesterday.
I heard they had scuffles with their own players, right?
No, I believe it was Bucs Jets.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now, I never assume. I never take anything for granted. I always wait. Last night I didn't because it's on Southwest Airlines. I booked my flight to LA last night.
Oh, wow.
So I'm good and ready to go.
All right. Hope you didn't overpay like last time or bought it too early.
No, I think it'll work out for myself and somebody else.
All right. How much did my ticket cost you?
Well, no. I can tell you how much your ticket cost you.
All right. How much did my ticket cost me?
We will talk about it off the air.
All right.
But yeah, it worked out very, very well.
All right, nice. But I think going back to the football phone, this was cool because you could change the plate of your favorite team here.
Right.
So I want to be neutral so I can have many fans on Knockout Radio. So I don't have any alliance.
Well, that's why we put a Knockout Radio plate in there.
Yeah, that's all you need for the Super Bowl this year.
Yep.
So I just got to get a custom sticker made right there. But speaking of sports memorabilia, the Cooper flag debut jersey was discovered in Rhode Island at a
it was.
So yeah.
What's the person doing? Is he selling it to Dallas? Did you see what Dallas offered?
No.
I don't remember it all, so I'm going to make it up. Season tickets for the next 35 years. I think it was 30 some years.
Wow.
Some cash, some memorabilia. Now, I wouldn't want that personally. I wouldn't want 35 years of season tickets to a city I don't live in.
Right, if you're in Rhode Island.
Right. Unless I get to fly Mark Cuban's plane or be in Mark Cuban's plane to fly me to the games.
Right.
But there's been some substantial offers for that. What's Dana's offer on the Donald Trump 1-of-1? Do you know?
I don't.
I mean, it's some ungodly, ridiculous number.
I heard Dana White walked out of a TKO boxing event or a Zuffa boxing event mid-fight. Did you hear anything about that?
No.
I heard he that's reports that you're left early. I don't know if it's because they don't allow ring girls over in the UK. Did you know
so what's that got to do with him leaving?
I don't know. I don't know if he was mad about not having anything to look at in between rounds, or I don't know. But here's the I was following. This is from London, and so if they don't, it has to be equal opportunity. They have to have ring card men and ring card women, or no one is allowed to do it.
I did see something about that. I didn't read it, but yeah, I think I did see something about that. I
thought it was just because the English women aren't very pretty, and I've never really seen a girl from London that's killing it. So maybe they didn't have any options over there. There's no one to really hold the cards up. I don't know.
May Elias Theodoro rest in peace.
What's wrong with Elias? He's a Canadian. Was he French?
I said, may he rest in peace.
Yeah, but what's that have to do with London?
Because he was a ring boy.
Oh, was he really?
You knew that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yes, you did.
I knew he was a fighter, obviously, but
he was a ring boy for Invicta.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I want to be a ring boy.
And some people gave him a lot of crap for it, and Elias was the man.
I should ask the commission if I could be a ring boy.
All right. Where are we? All right. We're going to hopefully have Steven Asplund up at the top of the hour and then Kai Stewart at the bottom of the hour. Yeah. But let's do Going, Gone.
All right.
Coming from our content director, Rick. Going, Gone. This week, we have 4 names.
All right. 4 names.
You tell me if they're going or if they're gone.
All right.
The first one. Do you want his name or do you want everything about him first?
Would I recognize his name?
Some you would, some you won't. All right, so let's go with this one first.
So give me the name. If I need the additional info, like the spelling bee, use it in a sentence, spell it backwards.
Okay. Okay.
This person to get insight.
This person served in the U.S. Army during World War II.
Oh God. All right.
He's one of the rare entertainers to have won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
Okay.
His movies include Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, and Spaceballs. This person, no, I won't tell you.
Did I get his name?
Yeah, I'm trying to think how I tell you ages and stuff, but today, as of today, living or passed away, 100 years. Mel Brooks. Is Mel Brooks going or is Mel Brooks gone?
I say he's I think he's still here. I'm gonna say he's going.
Mel Brooks is going.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was
one, but you know why? Because he's one of those guys that just didn't give a damn. He's probably one of those old Hollywood guys, cigar, bourbon, no cares in the world, no F's given. He was probably abstinent for 100 years, just not giving an F about what people think about him, and just carved his own path, created his own lane, and was uberly successful for it. That
All right, our
kind
next
of freedom.
One. Yep, our next
longevity.
One. This person stands 4 feet 11 inches, but his personality made him seem above 7 feet tall.
Okay.
He won an Emmy for playing a recurring character on Will and Grace. During COVID, he unexpectedly became a social media sensation with millions of followers. He's also recognizable from American Horror Story and Call Me Kat. His name, Leslie Jordan. Going, or gone?
I have no idea who this is. I don't even have an image or a face or a name recognition. So
that's the object. Some of them I don't want you to know.
Since you said COVID, I'm going to go with gone. I'm going to say he took the jab and he's no longer here.
Leslie Jordan is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it COVID related or during COVID?
I don't think so, but I don't know. Yeah, these two are obviously you're going to know. So I'm not even going to read all. Well, yeah, this game's over because you got it. Well, first because you're going to know Christopher Lloyd and you're going to know Stevie Wonder.
Oh yeah, Stevie.
Speaking of Stevie Wonder, how about a Steven instead? And setting a record. This has not happened to the best of my knowledge. We have had guests on numerous weeks in a row, but not week before a fight, week of fight, victory Wednesday. What up, dude? How's life?
What's up, fellers?
What's up?
All right, so there's a couple people in the media that I like, that I'm really good friends with. And I happened to see you talk to one of them before your fight last week.
Oh.
Okay, well, I can name him. I don't have to name him. Matter of fact, I was going to have him kick Matt's ass in a fist fight. It was all planned out. He was willing to do it. He knew who Matt was. Matt had no idea who Sean is, and the whole thing was going to be hilarious because that's what.
Are you talking Full Send?
Yeah, that's my boy.
Oh, copy.
Yeah, Sean is awesome, and my son is the one who introduced me, and I talk to Sean all the time. So I happened to see the video.
He's got a tall order ahead in Matt. I got my money on Matt.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
That BB Song Beach.
Let's go.
Oh, anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by all that, now you made me lose. Oh, so I happened to see you on, and you stopped when he asked a question, and you go, "Can I swear?" And Sean goes, "Yeah, you can do anything you want." And I say to myself out loud, he did that because of me, because he was on the show.
Oh, I got traumatized. I feel so bad with my foul mouth. And now I'm definitely a preconceived question. Hey, can I? I had to ask Matt Sarah and Matt Sarah and freaking unfiltered guys.
Right.
Fuck. I'm a huge fan of the guys. Gosh, CT is crazy.
Well, here's the beauty. For the next 2 minutes, you can swear.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
What a treat! Get the hell out of here.
Get them all out, man.
Get them all out. So what we do is we run continuous for 3 straight hours. So when the radio station goes to the commercial break, we're still live on YouTube and social media.
Oh,
so till 2:02 and 45 seconds, you can say anything you want.
I'm gonna try to keep it reined in just so I don't keep slipping up.
Okay, but perfect. So let's talk about it. Is victory? Look at the professional mic and everything you got. Look at you.
I'm a nerd, man. I told you I'm a big video game nerd. I've been streaming a little bit since the Vitor fight, and I got to get back to it. But you know, I play a lot of video games and try to interact with the fans as much as I can, just to show them the love and Q&As and stuff like that. So it kills time, and on top of that, they send me money on occasion. It's like, you guys don't have to do that, but thank you.
Well, that's awesome. That mic and stand, looks sensational. Matt buys his at Dollar Tree, so it tells you the difference of his products.
If it works, it works, baby. I wish I would have got my shit at Dollar Tree.
We don't necessarily have to talk about the process. We talked about that last week, but I saw a different you in the fight, and it's everything that you've talked about. I saw early in the fight, and I could see just your demeanor changing and flip-flopping from this to that. Are you aware of that while you're doing it?
I'd have to say no, because I want you to elaborate, if I'm being honest.
I don't want to use the word, and since we're friends, I'll say it more direct than I normally would, but I don't know if timid is the right word. Again, I'm not in a fist fight.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. You're not wrong. I agree with you for sure.
I'm not a fighter. Like I told you last week, I was in a fight once. He threw one punch. I got knocked out. I've never fought again. I'm not fighting a heavyweight, and I'm not any of that stuff. But yeah, and then as the fight went on, it was like, and I don't want to put things in your head. There's already enough stuff there. The confidence, I kind of saw some confidence adding, and hey, I'm in a fist fight, but I'm doing well. And I normally don't read into that kind of stuff. As a judge, I don't want to do that. But watching you, I did. And so, yeah, it kind of went from a little timid early to, hey, I know what I'm doing here. I feel, pretty powerful. to, I kind of even sensed in round 3, you felt like, I need to bring it. I need to make
Yes,
sure.
sir.
I'm not sure where we are.
Absolutely. I appreciate you being, trying to tiptoe around it. I promise. I love you guys, and I appreciate the directness. And as always, like I said, I'm trying to be the best that I can, and I don't want anybody to, oh, you did such a good job, Steve. You know what I mean? I'd rather we talk about it and be candid. That being said, the first round, I feel like I was on fire, right? I feel like I went out there and I was just ready to kill this dude. I didn't realize how many times he cheated against me until the middle or late of the second round. And if you rewatch the fight, I told her 3 different times in the first round that he's putting his fingers in my glove and holding my hands close to his waist. And then every time I tried to say something to Herb, he's taken a great opportunity to hit me, which I completely understand. I'm not mad at it, but I did lose a ton of respect for Guillermo after this fight. It was really frustrating because I've never had the thought of like, what can I do that's gonna hinder his performance and make mine better if it's not along the rules. And then talking to Tommy after the fact, he did it a ton to Tommy too when they were on the clinch, and it's just like, oh, okay. I went out initially in the first round like ready. I didn't think that this guy was going to hit nearly as hard as he did, and that's the God's honest truth. I knew he was dangerous, but like watching him fight Tommy, the guy threw 3 strikes around, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he comes out with me and he's pulling the trigger and he's like, wah, wah, wah. And it's funny that it happened that way because in the back, me and Caitlin were talking about it, and she's like, he's not gonna throw nearly as much as you think he is. And I looked at her and I said, what if he does though? Like what if we get the best version of Guillermo that I'm expecting, but what happens if he comes out pulling the trigger? And she looked at me, smiled, and goes, so what? Like you're you. It doesn't matter. Like you're going to be able to deal with the adversity. And that's the thing is when it comes to me, like I feel like guys do shy away at the not first signs of adversity, but once like if a full round of getting kind of beat up a little bit, getting dropped. I mean, granted, I dropped him in the second round too. So I feel like I 100% understand why it was his round, but I wasn't out of the fight by any means at any period of the time. Mm-hmm. Yes, he dropped me. He dropped me on a naked leg kick that I threw that was a little sloppy, and he threw some mustard on that left hook or whatever the hell it was. And when I went down, I was like, no, like I was like, dude, get up.
Right.
And it was just so funny because when I had my hands down, I was like, okay, we got to get out of this. Because if he goes for a Darce, I figured, or an Anaconda, I knew I'd be able to get out of it. I wasn't tripping about that. But I was worried about the knees because I didn't have a knee down. I was like, no, we need to get out of this. When we got through the second round, he hit me with something. I forget what it was. And it kind of looked like a nothing shot, but he hit me with something where like it was hard for me to see him for about a minute and a half. Like on occasion, I get migraines. I've had them since I was a kid. And it's almost like a white noise TV screen. My vision kind of goes out, and it almost 2/3 to 1/3 of my vision is cut off. This dude hit me so damn hard. It was to the point where like I couldn't see the top half of his body for at least a minute. And it frightened me. I got timid, and I started to kind of get afraid of what was going to happen. I did kind of want to survive. And this is being 100% honest. He hit me harder than Vitor did. Yes, Vitor was absolutely the faster opponent. And, he took some bombs too, but Guillermo was, I think it might be the leverage, and his speed is just it. Also, the speed discrepancy wasn't nearly what it was that the commentary was saying. I was getting so frustrated with them saying how much faster he is than me. I was like, no, he's not. Like the timing, I was being a freaking idiot, not moving my head. And then you see in the third round where I was like, okay, let's step off the center line and let's throw a jab with him.
Right.
Like I started to catch him, and I was like, yeah, okay, we could do this. And it was just remembering. And I put so much pressure on myself before this fight that I was gun shy. I forgot that I can do this with the best of them. And I always try to be candid about that. And I feel like it's one of my greatest strengths because I don't underestimate anybody, and I never will. You know what I mean? The one time that I did that was Denzel Freeman, messed up completely, and I lost. And then the one time I overestimated the guy, it's Vitor. I'm terrified of what he could do, and I was too hesitant. So I am finding this happy medium on where I do need to be, getting my confidence and believing in myself. I know I said, I don't know if you caught my story or anything after the fight, but I was pretty hard on myself. I'm frustrated I didn't get a finish, and you know, an extra 25 racks would have been nice, but I'd like to see anybody else go in there and try to throw hands with a big Brazilian dude that's also trying to take your head off. You know,
Sure.
it's not easy, and I know there's a lot of speculation online and stuff talking about that I didn't believe in myself. That's the name of the game, guys. It's tough sometimes, especially coming off of a loss where you're battered. After, when I typically do that to people, it's tough being on the other side, but you know, we're back in the right direction, back in the right column. And I promise to God, I'm ready to get back in there ASAP. I'm getting my leg looked at. I'm getting my face looked at to make sure that we're all good. And I'm right back training. I'm very excited for the future.
So we're catching up with Steven Asplund on Winners Wednesday. So
you and these dang phones, man.
Yeah, man, I gotta get a mustard one now. Because look, you're like, well, you had that left hook, he had some mustard.
All right, before you ask the question, hold on. Before you ask the question, so I'm going to let you come up with the name, Steve, because you're now part of Knockout Radio. You're part of the team. You're one of us. So there's Carrot Top in Vegas. You have a week. Think about it. You get to name this character, where he always has all these props and all these pranks and all this crap. You get to name them. Think about it and get back to me next week. All right, back to your question.
So true story, Steven. My media career didn't take off till my daughters outgrew their doll set. So I have a American Doll microphone. I have my own cheering section. I got my own claps. I don't need it.
I love it.
So I know I don't have a fancy podcast studio like yours, but this microphone is making me a legend.
Oh my God, dude, I love that. I absolutely love that.
So anyway, I go back to a phone question. You know, like you don't know who do you want to call out next? Is there anybody on the list that deserves a call from Steven Asplund?
Hey man, I called out Jamal Hill right after the fight, and I think that would be such a fun fight, and I do it out of respect. You know, you guys know me, I am a ish talker, but when it comes down to it, it is all respect. Jamal apparently is fighting Walter next, so you know, I want a tough fight. I want somebody that they want to put me in front of and that's going to test me. Give me Marcin Tybura. Give me the Sergey Spivaks. Give me those guys. Give me the guys that, you know, near the bottom of the top 15. Let me get an opportunity again because I know I can show up and show out. I want to say Derek Lewis. I think me and Derek could have
What do you mean want to? You just did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think
live.
Derek.
We're live.
Hey, Derek,
we just went out.
I think you're free, brother. You know, you're a big boy that has the most knockouts in heavyweight history, and I freaking love you. I got into this to fight the guys that I want to be like. I got into this to fight the guys that I look up to and I aspire to be. So, Mr. Derek Lewis, Mr. Black Beast, why don't you run in with Concrete come December or January? I think we could go get some pops, and damn it, I think it'll be a real fun fight.
Well,
I don't know if you would do the trash talking, but if I was you, which I'm not,
I'll pinch his nipples.
After you say something, you know, after you win, you're like, I bet your balls ain't hot no more.
He just got some mustard on it. Like I don't think Jamal Hill's like missed a meal lately, and I'm sure he's probably putting all the condiments on it. So like, but I think that's a great fight for you. I think Jamal and you is a great fight at heavyweight. I would love to see that.
Man, Jamal's the one I want, you know, and I think adding a light heavyweight champion scalp to my damn wall would be phenomenal. You know, that's the last fight on my 4-fight contract. I get through a light heavyweight champion. And like I said, I want to call out the guys that I think are big and bad, because if you're big and bad and I get through you, well, damn it, that means I might be big and bad. And, you know, that puts a lot of trucking negotiating power.
Got it just in time. You're perfect.
a lot of negotiating power in my corner, and I think the way that we're projecting, man, you know, as long as I'm able to provide and feed my family with every fight, bro, you guys could give me anybody. I don't care, and we're always gonna have good fights. But man, Jamal, baby, let's hope Vitor or whoever it is, Walter falls out. That man falls out, and my plan is to get ready for that fight anyways, just in case there is a short notice dropout. I know what I'm capable of, man. And like this time, I think getting back in the right direction, as hard as I was after that fight on myself, I am starting to understand that I'm giving myself a little bit of grace. And oh God, I want to fight somebody again. And I want it to be Jamal. Come on, Jamal.
So Steve, listen, so when you talk about feeding your family, I think Randy should reach out to his friends Ed Droste and the founders of Hooters. Since you have an owl tattoo on your neck, right? And you should get sponsored by Hooters when you come to Tampa and train with us and hang out. We'll go eat dinner.
More importantly,
got the orange card, bro, the OG card, the original,
VIP card.
The VIP card. Can't get those anymore.
All right, enough about the both of you. Now let's change the subject. Talk to me about the barbecue. I can't wait. So what are you going to be making?
Okay, so we'll just do some pork ribs, you know, and we'll do a couple briskets and some pork belly, man. We'll keep it simple.
Now, can we do that before you fight, Jamal, or do we have to wait till after the fight?
I think we would. If we're gonna do it, you guys better get your asses up here. Otherwise, we are gonna have to wait till the spring. But that being said, no, man, this fight I went into it like a lot healthier and ready to go. So I'm just gonna keep this train rolling. So we'll you guys get up here. We'll make sure you guys eat. And we'll have a good time. I mean that. I can't wait till you guys get up here.
Did you say train rolling? Like I got one of those too.
Oh, oh my God! This stuff don't end, man. He should be Carrot Top. What are we talking about? All these props.
Will Steven fight Jamal Hill? I got the Magic 8 Ball right here. Wow.
You shake my head. I look like a dang 8 ball, man. I need to go get a haircut.
But how long will you rest until you go back in? I know you got to get some things looked at.
I'm
do
training
you wait?
today.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go hit mitts. I got a bunch of my buddies fighting on this card this Saturday for a local Ignite show, my manager's show. So I want to get out there, show some love to the guys, and talk to them a little bit. Me and Caitlin have been talking about just like I said, keeping the train rolling and staying in contact with the training aspect. This was the most I hit pads throughout a camp, and all the combos that I have for the most part are either off of the top of my head or like Caitlin has added tidbits to add to the end of my combos with elbows and kicks, etc. So moving forward, I'm going to make a major focus on getting my boxing up, tightening up my boxing, and then just adding more fun combos that I can just have in the repertoire and let my instincts take over rather than thinking about everything. Because when I think about stuff, I get frustrated. It's like when at the beginning of the fight, I was having so much fun being free, and then he hit me real hard one time. I was like, we got to be careful. So if we hit these guys enough times, I want to get my explosive power up, get my hand speed up a little bit. I just bought some new weighted gloves right away as soon as I landed, and yeah, no, I'm hungry, and not just because I'm a fat boy, man. I'm hungry for success and hungry to provide for my family. So,
what online games do you play, and do you use your name? Do you let people know who you are, or what?
I got my Steam library right here. So as of late, I've been playing. Okay, you said online. I just bought the new MLB game. I've been playing that like crazy. I can't believe how much fun I have playing that. I play all the sports games: football, NHL, soccer, boxing, UFC, obviously, and then Battlefield, Halo. I stay away from COD. I played way too much of that. Man, and then these PC games, I've been playing my PC. Like, got like a crazy build up for that. So I've been playing like Among Us and this Berglund Gnomes. There's like 5 versus 1 person. There's 5 gnomes. You basically try to take out the occupant of the house, and he's trying to kill you. It's super silly. It's like a cell shaded game. It's like an indie game, but it's so much fun.
Now, do you want people to know you're on? Do you use a certain name? Do you not?
Yeah,
want
man.
fans to know?
You can add me on PlayStation, Steven_concrete. Pretty simple.
Easy enough. All right.
Otherwise, I'm on Steam, Steven.Asplund. Otherwise, big sexy with 2 Y's, 612.
I ain't writing that one down.
Hey, man, you asked. You asked.
I wrote the other ones down.
I made it when I was fat. Leave me alone.
Bro, I dated a girl named Ashley with 3 Y's once. Didn't end well.
Oh, she was trailer trash for sure.
Man. Yeah.
Ashley with 2 Y's, Tammy Lynn, Brittany Lynn, all that.
She stole my heart and my wallet.
As the story goes,
Yeah.
So she goes.
But I got a fighting question, Steve, going back to the fight game. So can you hear your corner? Like, do you tune in to the instruction in real time? Like,
Absolutely.
Are you focused? So you've tuned everything else out and you're listening. Do you find yourself taking your own like instinct, like in the ring, like we're like, all right, or octagon, where you're like, hey, I feel like I have an inside read that they don't. Do you override that advice, or do you follow it like, as much as you can?
I definitely follow as much as I can, just because I know she sees stuff that I can't, right, on the outside perspective. And sometimes I get a little caught up in a firefight, or I get a little too worried about my defense, something. There was a moment in the first round after I dropped Garry where I was elbowing him, and I couldn't get enough clean shots off. And I thought that truthfully, and obviously I'm biased. It's my fight. There was a moment when I did drop Garry where I was landing some really heavy elbows on the cage, and Herb was saying fight back. And I think I hit him like 9, 10 unanswered times, short elbows, and they opened him up pretty decent. And Caitlin was like, go, finish him. And there was 10 seconds left. And I was just looking at her, and you can see me look at her, and I shake my head. I'm like, no, like I'm not going for broke in 10 seconds. Cause if Herb doesn't stop the fight, I want to make sure that I'm ready to at least withstand whatever he chooses to bring to the table in this beginning of the second round. And, we kind of had to, and then we were able to outlast him. There are moments like when I looked at my corner twice, and that was just because I couldn't make out what they were saying. Like, I was like, what the fuck did you just say? Because
he said truck. He said truck.
Oh, no, we said truck.
Back to the amateurs.
Oh my God. Get rid of that microphone.
Yeah.
We came close. But it's like
FCC and CTE are very similar, so just blame it on that. Blame it on the FCC.
FCC, the THC, the CTE, all of it. Gosh,
all that. All right, final question, and then we're going to let you go, and then I'll call you later. And if you're serious, we're serious. We'll come up. We'll do this whole thing.
Oh, by all means, please.
I asked a fighter about this, I think last week. I happened to see something about GSP from back in the day, and he kind of made the same comment. He got hit in the head or in the eye or whatever. Have you ever practiced wearing like an eye patch in case you do lose vision temporarily and on a side?
No. I mean, that's definitely not a bad idea. I'm all for like different types of training. I've just never really thought about it. I've had to fight through eye pokes before. I forgot who it was. I think it was Raiden Kovacs when he was on top of me. He had side control, and I had to withstand almost around a ground and pound. But there was a moment where his finger went into my eye, dang near, to the middle knuckle, and I lost eyesight up until after I don't know, well after the fight. And it was just kind of like, we have to go, like if I am injured at that point, then it's kind of like, okay, well, all full steam ahead or nothing, either we give up or we give it everything we have to try to get the guy out of there. I think I got to look at the clock when Garry made, in the middle of that fight, when it did happen, and I saw how much time was left, and I was like, okay, if we get to the end of the round and it still persists, we have to go for broke right away. And thank God, like right before the round ended, I had my vision back.
Right.
It was a frightening experience for sure. I mean, it was the last thing I wanted to happen in the middle of a fight. But we managed to get through it and push through it. And his wasn't an eye poke, it was just him hitting me so hard.
Right. Good stuff, dude. So happy for you. We are so happy for you. I enjoyed watching the fight. I enjoyed watching the process of you through the 3 rounds. Like I said, I normally don't do it that way. And oh my God, he's got another phone.
Well, Steven, so I just wanted to save you some time and homework.
You guys are kidding. Oh,
so this but this is how Superman changes in his booth. So this is my podcast booth. My nickname is Superman, and this is how I change identities and clothes inside this phone. So,
I love it.
Yeah, that's my nickname for Knockout Radio, Superman, with all the.
Brian, I didn't even see the Spartan in the back. Like all the Spartan gear is so cold. I love that. We were Richfield Spartans for my original high school growing up. So I got love for you, Matt. You guys are the best, dude. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you guys for like always just being so kind. I appreciate you guys always want to talk to me, and I'm so beyond grateful to be a part of the team, man. Like the way you guys treat me is so unbelievable, and just thank you. I'm always going to give this everything that I have because I don't want to let the people down that support me. And obviously I got to worry about letting me down more than anything. But
don't forget, it's not just about friendship and brotherhood and camaraderie. Like we ought to add tools to your arsenal. So the vertical gym that I have, you can tune out all the distractions and mimic a fist fight listening to your corner. By tuning out road noise or airplanes or helicopters, you can literally focus on just a bird chirping in the distance and tune everything out. So we can train for that without the hormonal dump of cortisol and adrenaline. So you have an open invite to Tampa. Randy will set it up. We have Gatorland. We can go on adventures, but we want to add tools like John XD out in Vegas has the bone density training.
I'm so sorry I didn't get to make it out there, man. I was so like. It was such a crazy couple of days. My fault. I didn't mean to cut you off.
But this is the beginning of a long-term friendship. So I want you to know, like, we're always here in your corner, dog, and we want to help you with your career and make sure that you keep thriving and growing and succeeding.
I truck and love you guys, man. I swear to God. You guys are the best, and thank you so much, bro. I 100% will be taking you guys up on this. My old lady's about to pop. They actually just moved up the due date 2 weeks, so. We're getting near that time, and once we get situated, man, I'm gonna be blowing y'all up, and I hope to God you guys take me up on that, man. Let me know when you guys can get up here because I'm telling you, we would have a good time, smoke a little bit, eat some good food, go on some adventures up here, see some stuff, and I'd be honored. So
I'll say it publicly because I normally only do this privately. My wife hates this because when people have done that and said that to me. I met a guy at a charity event. He lived in Toronto. He still does. He said, hey, if you're ever in the neighborhood, pop in and say hi. 6 weeks later, I'm knocking on his door. He's like, what are you doing here? A girl in high school told me that in Belton, Texas. I fly out there. What are you doing here? You invited me. Be careful what you invite because I invited Matt on the show once. Look what happened. I can't get rid of him.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm like a mullet, man. You just can't shake me. But the only way we're gonna get Randy to smoke is at his cremation. Like that's the only time. That's his next weight cut, and that's the next time you'll see. That's the only time you'll see Randy smoke anything is when he's on fire at his cremation.
Gosh. All right. Well, I'm gonna dose you with some gummies then. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding. It's
with that all said, say hi to the family for us.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I love you to death, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
God bless, guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for the love and support, and I'll see you guys soon. I genuinely can't freaking wait.
Let's go.
Absolutely. All right. Take care.
All right,
that is the man, part of the team now. He is what a good guy. What a good dude. Love that guy to death. He's one of those few people, and it's happened before. You meet somebody and instantly it's just good guy. Good, everything is good. The stars are aligned. This is aligned. And hopefully when I go up there and I knock on his door, he's not going to say, who are you and what are you doing here?
Is that the theme song to Three's Company? Knocking on the door.
Something on the door. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Three's Company and Comic Cons, don't you have some comic convention news, fanboy news, like TV show news?
What news?
Don't you have breaking news? Don't you have tickets to give away for the Tampa Comic Convention?
Yes, we do.
To our fans, like here on
Yes, we do.
Knockout Radio?
Yes, we do.
What do we have to do to win them?
We got to come up with something. I thought that we would do it. I just was told something by Steve, so I'll fill you in on that later. I changed it. So what I asked the Tampa Bay Comic Convention is they sent us 3-day passes. I don't want to give away 3-day passes.
Okay.
I want to give away sets of day passes.
Sure.
It gives us more to give away. It gives more to the fans. We can give away, X amount, 3 times more. So we'll have that all in place by next week.
Okay.
We have a table, booth, whatever you want to call it. So we'll be in there. We're going to have everything set up. I got the new fan logo that we're going to use, which will be pretty cool. I just want to be really delicate with it because, you know how people are, not comic convention people, just people in general. They'll stick their finger in it. They'll break a blade, so we definitely want to watch that. We have hired another returning employee of Knockout Radio.
Okay.
So the bodyguard is back. So John Robinson is now
Nice.
regained his full position. So he'll be there to guard because it's pretty cool. We don't want that broke. So yes, we do have tickets to the Tampa Bay Comic Convention. I'm trying to get tickets to Fanboy, and it just so happens, and I just talked to Abe, I'm sorry, about getting credentialed for the Mike Perry fight. And it's not that I want to go to the Mike Perry fight. I do because it's Mike. Alex Nicholson is on that card as well. But I'll be going to Fanboy that day.
Okay.
Because the entire cast, the entire surviving cast, most of the surviving cast of the Warriors are there.
Oh, really?
And so I want to go hang out with them. I know my buddy Billy Zapka's coming. So hopefully we can get him back on the show, or we'll talk to him when we go out there. So yeah, a lot of conventions coming up, 3 or 4 in the next couple weeks. And the comic convention is like right around the corner.
Yeah, it's like September 4th, I think, right?
Yeah.
That's
So we really need to get on giving these away. We'll announce it on the YouTube channel later on tonight, maybe. So a lot of cool stuff, a lot of big stuff coming up. We just got out of the bottom of our break. We are waiting for Kai Stort. Hopefully he is there. Let me check again. He was almost to the gym. Now he wants me to email it to him. God dang it. Okay. Talk among yourselves for a minute. Talk to me.
I was watching something on TV the other day that the Earth, Wind, and Fire drummer, they're doing a fundraiser for his health. Something went, I'm not sure what's going on, but I just saw John Paris, apparently. But I think there's a fundraiser going on for us. Gets Earth, Wind, and Fire drummer John Paris. And if you remember, Knockout Radio fans, we just had Ralph Johnson from Earth, Wind, and Fire on, I believe it was last week. So, but they're doing fundraisers to support amid medical crisis. So I don't know what the medical crisis is. They're just calling it a medical emergency. But young guy, I think he's only in his 50s. I think he's like 54 maybe. So, too many good people are struggling with their health in their 50s, which I just saw Mario Lopez, from the Hollywood Insider and all that. Mario just posted a thing about 50s is a wild age because some of you are grandparents. Some of you are, have new children, right? Infants. Some of you are, sick, chronically or medically. So there's all these different ranges of what life is at 50. And then I shared the post and I put on my part, I was like, don't forget about those that didn't make it to 50, that did survive 50 years on this planet. So it is a weird time. 50 is definitely a weird age because you see people's life choices and how they chose to live their life and what they've chose to do with it. And it's vastly different. Like at this stage, it's a crazy science experiment, right? Because we all kind of start in the same huddle, like we're all in the same bunch, like we're all sheep and moving through the system the way that society directed us. And, then you get to 50 and you see that people are still sheep. It's just the same word. It's singular or a plural. I mean, it's the same word. So sheep is a mindset. So, you see a lot of people still trapped. All right, I'm done. But I'm just getting ready for the comedy show, man. I think I'm going to do some stand-up this week. Speaking of stand-up, Bert Kirshner and Tom Segura, the two top comedians, Two Bears, One Cave podcast. They'll be signing autographs tomorrow in Tampa. So they've got autograph signings scheduled throughout the city. So I think I'm going to go down and check that out and maybe perform my bit for them. See if I can get on stage with them.
Yeah, good for you.
Well,
All right, we are waiting for Kai. Kai Stewart will be on. We were going to talk to him. Big fight coming up at Fenway, so I want to talk to him about the Fenway thing. But we'll start with Inside the Distance. Get a little bit going there. Let's welcome back as he is each and every week. What up, Jared?
What's up, guys? What's
Rock
up?
and roll, baby. Look, hey, what about Steve Miller Band for the win last
I know.
week?
Yeah,
What would that have paid if I would have bet those three in a parlay?
47 cents.
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I mean, there's a couple big favorites in there, but yeah, they all pulled it out.
I think all three were favorites, weren't they?
Yeah.
Don't look. I'm going off of
Pretty-
the names.
pretty sizable.
I pick my bets just like I do the NCAA March Madness. I literally pick on the mascot, the color of the uniform, and if I think anybody has a cool name.
And that's why you're not on the betting side.
3 for 3 last week. I think my
Hey, it works
strategy.
sometimes.
I'm taking my strategy into next week.
Yeah, it's always a great strategy, especially when you're not putting shekels down on it.
Yeah, when you put money on it, everything changes, my friend.
So let's start with how did you do last week?
I mean, our picks did good.
Okay, I can read into that response.
Our picks did good. I knew it'd be a tough one from the betting side. There's just there was a lot of unplayable money line bets. So I had to go chasing for finishes. I had to go chasing for unders and overs and stuff like that. So I took a little bit of a loss last week. Nothing crazy, but as far as it wasn't a big loss, but I had a parlay bust on the last leg. I think I told everyone I did have Gamrot in my parlay. Looked horrible. I picked Sal killed, so I should have just bet Sal killed. I don't know what I was thinking. I just took the number, and I thought, I didn't know what to expect jumping up to a competition like Gamrot. So I went out on a limb there. So from the betting side, took a little loss, but from the picks, we went 9 for 11. That's 80 some odd percent. I think it's about 80%. So we can't be disappointed in that.
I rolled the dice with my former jiu-jitsu professor. I don't know if I told you this. I've told it on the air. So Knockout Entertainment was looking for a couple of jiu-jitsu guys to try out their rash guard. So I texted my BJJ guy, David Vieira, and he said, yeah, he'd be happy to do it. All right, so we'll talk about that. We'll fill that back in right now, but Kai's getting ready to train. Let's welcome the champ, Kai Stewart. Kai, how are you? Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, this mic doesn't work on my phone, so I guess as long as you guys can hear me good like this, we'll keep going.
Yeah, we can.
Sweet. I couldn't hear you. Darn. But we're good. What's up?
Fine. Cool. I know you're headed to the gym. How are you? How's things? Let's just catch up real quick first.
Doing real good. Been kind of a wild camp for me this go around. We have, I don't know what you guys have seen on the news. There was massive fires over here where I'm training. And, it's the air quality shit. A whole bunch of my teammates' houses burned down, whole bunch of shit going on.
Wow, that's awful. I did not know that. I'm sorry to hear that. Let me ask you this: the fight, obviously, in a legendary facility, Fenway Park. Let's start with: are you a baseball fan?
I grew up loving baseball. I also grew up in a place where there was no baseball opportunity after Pee-wee T-ball, that. So fast forward to being an adult, I bet on baseball. I can't consider myself a baseball fan, but because I have no bias on any of those teams, I can usually make a pretty good choice and pretty good bets on there. So I do bet on baseball. and I'm trickling in more and more. Now that I'm headlining such a crazy event, I might as well be watching the Yankees from here on out, huh?
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, and that's what I wanted to ask, because as a baseball, if you're a baseball fan, I'm a former baseball fan, a former bat boy for the St. Louis Cardinals. I've since lost the love for it. It's gotten better with the time clock, but it's a little boring. It's a little slow. But it's freaking Fenway Park.
Yeah.
Is that, it's a fight, so nothing can make it more important than the fight that it already is. But it being at Fenway's got to be cool.
Yeah, very cool. Every time that bare knuckle seems to find themselves a new and improved event, I tend to be the main event. I was the debut over in Dubai. King Kai took over Dubai. We sold the record amount of tickets and gate price for the Hard Rock Live. That was my main event. And then, you fast forward to Fenway Park, and who do they call? They call the King. So definitely being there in person, taking those videos on near the mound. My heel touched the mound, and you should have seen the face on everybody. They're like, oh, he's on the mound. But I was like, the King does what the fuck he wants. But no, I tend to find myself in these situations, but I think they choose me. One, I'm the most marketable, the best mustache, best fighter. I'm changing the game. But at the end of the day, I do think that they realize that I don't let wins and losses, I don't let venues, I don't let anything scare me or knock me off of my flat road. Most of these guys live their life on a roller coaster of emotions, and that's just not me. I'm going in there to do a job. I'm going to go in there, provide for my family. And, at the end of the day, there's only one, like, death, taxes, and kings never die. Okay. It used to be death, taxes, King Kyle never get tired. Yeah. I don't get tired, but we've also seen me take some of the biggest freaking punches that, would put out most people. So kings never die is what we changed it to.
All right. Perfect. Before I throw it over to Matt, did I kind of sense that you may be wearing some form of pinstripes in your attire when you fight?
Yes, absolutely. I have Defilia Sport out of Montana. Actually a collaboration with HK as well. They are hooking it up with a really awesome pinstripe themed, Yankee themed attire. I King Kai the bad guy, I try to be the best human being I can in my day-to-day life, but whenever the lights get turned on, man, I really do not give a shit.
He said ship. He said ship.
What?
I said you said ship. We're also FCC too, so
okay.
I'm walking a thin line between our YouTube channel and the FCC.
My bad. But yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming, and the Yankees themed outfit's gonna just the booming of the booze is gonna be what fuels me to get this fight going.
All right, King Kai. So we're talking about betting on baseball. Does Pete Rose belong in the Hall of Fame? Should he got in before he died?
Can I Google this guy? I in terms of betting, I'm gonna read the stats the morning of the game, and then I'm gonna move forward and do that. I couldn't tell you to save my ass.
I'll give you my opinion real quick, only because Pete Rose is one of my favorite ball players of all time. As a former bat boy of the St. Louis Cardinals, a Major League Baseball team, there's a monster billboard in every clubhouse that says, "You will be banned for life if you gamble." It doesn't matter that you can do it when you still can't now, but it doesn't matter at the time you can't. And no, he should not be in the Hall of Fame for that reason.
That's
All right, King
that's
Kai.
a crown, though. That is a sick
Yeah, man.
crown.
So they say heavy lies the crown. So King Kai, what keeps you motivated, man? Like what makes you this hungry at this stage of the game to keep going to practice, to keep being the best in the world? Like, what is it that motivates you for internally?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, I'm 26 years old. I'm going for my 7th world title. Put in perspective, John Jones won his first world title at 23. I won mine at 22. I don't want to get into the GOAT talk yet because I'm so young. But I have big shoes to fill. But at the end of the day, I'm not financially free. As soon as I want a Montana ranch with a creek running through it,
fighting's dangerous. So of course I'm gonna fight to show these motherfuckers that I still got it.
Truckers.
Sorry guys. And but I want to be able to I want to fight on my terms. So as soon as I don't have to fight for my paycheck and my money and like my family's food, that's whenever I know that, you know, the hunger won't die down, but it changes. Cause I'm a competitive person. Like if I get to the point in my career where I can fight because I love it, not because it's my full-time job, like I think I'm going to fight even better. There's going to be even less stress because wins and losses come and go. You know, even John Jones has that one loss from the 12-6 elbows, you know, so wins and losses are going to come and go. As long as I do everything properly in the gym, it'll all fall into place. I don't need another belt. And there's a laundry list of people that could keep me busy if I didn't have this belt anymore. So that's kind of what drives me, that no matter what, I know I'm a showman. No matter what, I know that I love this stuff. And no matter what, I know that there's more people that love me than hate me. So win, lose, or draw, I'm going to go out there and just put on the best fight as possible and earn my money. And as long as I keep winning, I'm going to keep earning that money. So I just want a Montana ranch with a creek running through it. That's the life goal right there.
Well,
All right, you talked about, you know, hate, and I don't know if it is hate. Is it hate? Is there dislike between you and Harry?
I just don't think he's been here. You got to act like we've been here, y'all. Like, he's like everybody talks the same way. I think that, you know, once I retain my belt, I'm sure that I don't actually love Harry's like past. Everybody has a past and they can grow from it. So maybe he's grown from it, but I really don't like, you Google his name, you could see what I mean. And it's just, I don't fuck with that. But at the end of the day, I think he's trying to sell a fight. I don't believe that he knows what he's getting himself into. I do believe that the B-list organization of Barely Known Bare Knuckle, I think they filled him with false confidence, and I think that's what is kind of showing. I've been here. Like, I don't have to talk shit about this guy to get into his head. I'm already in his head. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can tell by the way that he rambles. I'm just spitting facts like, oh, I have 6 world titles. Oh, I have an hour and 12 minutes of ring time. Oh, I have this. I can't say I hate the guy, but I don't like him. And I think he's just very, very misguided and should fire whoever told him it was a good idea to take this fight.
Good, King Kai. We're on the phone with King Kai, BKFC champion. I got a king of beer. I got this old phone that's a Budweiser when Budweiser was king of beer. So you get to call out one person from history to fight against you in the squared circle, alive or dead, real or fictitious. Who is King Kai calling out?
Man, I'd fight Floyd Money Mayweather. I really would. Ryan Garcia, any big name boxer, glove boxer with the puss pads on their hand. If any of those guys can get it, you know, just the rule set, I'm not taking away from them. I'm not saying that I'm going to go out there and outbox them and box their block off. But at the end of the day, I think the bare knuckle rule set, the bare knuckle fighting championship, we're not bare knuckle boxing, we're bare knuckle fighting. And it's just different. And I do believe that against anybody at near my weight class, 155 and below, I'd say, I do believe that I could win against anybody. So give me the biggest name, obviously, Floyd Money Mayweather. Give me him. But a more realistic, you know, if once Ryan Garcia loses to Ben, I actually know nothing about glove boxing, so who knows if that happens. But once Ryan Garcia needs another route, let's get him into the bare knuckle fighting championship, into that squared circle, and I'll show exactly what I mean.
I know you got to get into the gym, so let me end with this. Are you going to use Frank Sinatra as your music as well?
Is that a thing? I'm gonna have to look into that. So I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious. Okay. So maybe we release some highlight videos with Frank Sinatra, you know, fight week. But I do have my walkout song, and I typically keep everything pretty much the same. I have a pretty good walkout routine in terms of my my footwork and everything. It just kind of gets me motivated and ready for the fight. But I'm gonna look into that Frank Sinatra See what that is. There something with Boston Yankees?
Oh yeah, well yeah, Frank Sinatra, who's way before your time. He's even before my time.
Well, I know who Frank Sinatra is. I just don't know the connection, I guess.
Oh no, he's got a New York song. Start spreading the news. It's a New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I think a little highlight video is in our works. Then I think that'll be really, really good because I'm leaning fully into the Yankees, fully into go Yankees, and I'm a country kid from rural Montana. My hometown has 35 people in it. I don't have a dog in the fight. But Boston don't know that. They're too dumb to understand that. So whenever I say go Yankees, whenever I say Boston sucks, whoo.
Hey, guys. So, all right. So going to superstitious, if you were a baseball player, would you step on the chalk line going in and out of the dugout, or would you step over it? Because a lot of baseball players are superstitious about stepping on the chalk line. What would you do?
Once again, Kings do what the heck they want. It has to flow. I mean, like I said, I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious. So really the only thing that stays pretty consistent is my walkout song. I actually started changing my shorts up. I'm kind of trickling everything in. And if I ever get a live performance by someone very, very specific I will say whenever I get it going, I will change my walkout song and I will have a live performance and it will be the most legendary King walkout that has ever been done. But until then, we got to keep that walkout song. Got to keep the mustache curled. I guess the mustache too. So I'm probably is weed illegal in baseball?
I don't think it's illegal. Jared, is it illegal?
If I was in Major League Baseball, I'd probably get too stoned and forget and accidentally touch the line. I'm just saying I'd probably touch the line. I'd say I'd touch the line.
Well, I think there was then we'll let you go. I really don't want to hold you up and you get mad at me.
You guys are great. You guys are fun.
There was somebody, I forget who it was. They talked about the white line down that he could have mistaken it for cocaine once.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So good stuff, Kai. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I can't.
Are you guys out of?
Tampa, St. Pete.
Oh, Florida.
Yeah.
Nice. I was gonna be like, if you guys are up in the northeast of the country, come on out and watch Harry's head go right over the big green monster. I think it'll be hilarious.
I'm thinking about coming up. I told Dave Feldman that I might be coming, so I will let you know.
Yeah, please let me know because we can do something during fight week. I was just wondering, you guys look pretty sporty and everything, or do you guys are you guys in the card ripping pack industry?
Yeah, we're in everything, sure.
Okay.
Yes. Are you a card collector?
I want to maybe rip some packs with you guys on fight week if you guys get up there.
I will check flights later today, and I will text you later tonight.
Oh yeah.
Cool, and hopefully we can get some bare knuckle packs to do that week. If not, we'll rip some baseball for the sake of the show.
Awesome, good stuff, Kai. Thank you very much. Enjoy training. Hopefully, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yep. See you guys. Thank you so much. Great interview.
Good stuff. What a good dude.
Yeah,
The King
Kai.
The King Kai. And Jared's like, "Where's my segment? Let's get to my."
Yeah.
It's gone.
All right. Sorry, Jared.
All that prep.
Welcome to the show. All right, go ahead. Rapid fire. Get it.
All right, so you did good. 9 out of 11. I lost all three.
Yeah, I mean, from a pick side, we're fine. I mean, it looks good. That's what it's all about. People make their own bets. What are you going to do? You're going to lose some weeks. So luckily, it wasn't a big loss. So we move on.
All right, so let's move on. Let's look at this week. I know we're way behind time, so you can wrap at them. You can throw the couple of best bets, whatever you want to do. This is your segment, Inside the Distance.
Let's see. So, I mean, we can start if we're trying to just wrap it up here. Trying to get it. We have about 8 minutes or so. We can talk about a few, I guess, and then I can rapid fire on some picks. We can start with the main event. We got Islam Makhachev, Ian Machado, Garry. Leaning on the Makhachev side, it's tempting me to look at Garry and, if he can somehow fight off some takedowns and start to work work his hands a little bit better. And, we've seen Islam knocked out, but it's been a long, long time at this point. So I think, it's hard to go against Makhachev. He looks like he's leveling up every time he's out there. If I had to, put a parlay together, he's definitely a confident parlay piece for me. He's soaring over a minus 300 favorite at this point. So it's a main event. We know Garry wants this more than probably anybody. We know he probably has it in him to to squeak out a win. I'd say if this fight occurred 10 times, he's probably winning 1 or 2, if that. Right. But I think the safe side is going to be Makhachev. Don't know if he gets a finish or not. I can't really feel that out yet. I think, again, Gary's a hard guy to get out of there. He's tough. He wants this. So my pick is Makhachev. I think it's going to be it would be a parlay piece more than anything. So
all right, co-main event is a little intriguing. We've had Gillian on before. Mackenzie Dern just recently wins the title. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm torn on this. Always like Dern. She's a problem on the ground. You got Gillian, who's kind of similar. She's very aggressive on the ground. I would say Mackenzie's BJJ is probably a little cleaner. She's probably got the more experience on the mat. But you have Gillian, who I love where she's fighting. She's been at Goat Shed now forever. I love Den Thomas. I love that team. I think they're a super scrappy team. I love the way they fight, and they're very cerebral about their game plans.
What did you call him? What did you call him?
Den.
What did you call him?
What?
Den.
Did you call him Den?
Den Thomas.
Oh, now he's close.
What did I say?
Did you call him Den Thomas?
Yeah, Den Thomas.
You called him Den Thomas.
What is it?
What? No, his name's Dean.
Oh, is it Dean? Why did I think it was Den Thomas?
Because it's spelled Den. It's spelled D-I-N, but his name is Dean.
Oh, I was like, what did I do?
Just because you're part of the team. Matt was going to give me crap if I didn't correct you. So
yeah, well, my mistake.
No, it's all good. It's all
good. How did you get fired from Knockout Radio? Like, well, I mispronounced Dean Thomas.
That's crazy. Oh well, you learn something new every day.
I'll get you an autographed picture from him.
I thought he pronounced it differently.
No, it's Dean.
Just Dean.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Not just put a screeching halt on where we were.
Yeah. Couldn't just let that one go, huh?
Well, I kept looking up to see Matt looking at me like, are you going to say something? Are you going to say something?
Like, say it.
I could have sworn I've heard it multiple ways, so I always go with how it's spelled. But we all know it's spelled incorrectly. We can agree on that.
Exactly.
So
it's Dean time almost 5 o'clock.
Anyway.
Time in my house.
All right. So who are you taking?
I'm taking Gillian. So I like Gillian. She's an underdog here. I think it's a little wide on the Dern side. I don't like what I'm seeing much from Dern personally. I think she's now got her belt, and I don't think she's as hungry as Gillian to retain it. So it's going to be a dog shot for me.
All right. I don't know if you're going to talk about the next fight, which is Charles Johnson, who was just on the show. I don't know if you know. We did not. There's been a change in his opponent. So how much is that going to change? Or do you totally pull it off? Granted, you have a couple days to look into it.
Yeah.
But, it was just announced, I guess, last night.
Oh, no, I didn't see it. So what? Oh, is it Ochoa that pulled out?
Well,
Ochoa the replacement.
No, that's he is not fighting. A team member passed away. Gotcha. And they're not going to come. And they've announced the fighter. I forget who it was, but
yeah, he was a big favorite. So yeah, I'm not going to probably say much. I think we've seen better days from Johnson. I'm not going to get into that until we know who his opponent is, because this could be
the guy fights. The guy fights every 91 days.
Yeah, he's active. I'll give him that. I mean, we'll see what the matchup looks like. So we'll skip over that for now. I liked Ochoa big time in that spot, but
okay. The next fight, we were scheduled to have Malik on. We had some, as you know, stream issues. We did have Stoltzfus on. Where are you going on this one?
I'm on the Malik side. I think we're gonna see, it's him start to level up here. I've never been blown away by Stoltzfus. I don't know. I Abdul-Malik he's just a specimen in there. I think he's going to get better. I think he's been very green. So I think we're going to see it come together. There's still some questionable things from like the decision making in the cage, stuff like that. It still scares me when he's a huge favorite, but I think and he is here. He's close to, I think he's soaring above a 6.5 favorite at this point. So you're going to have to find a way to play him. You're not going to, I guess you can parlay it, but again, a guy who only has, a few fights, it gets scary putting with a number next to his name like that, or next to him like that to be too confident. So that's probably going to be something I look at it inside the distance. We've seen Stoltzfus rocked a few times. We've seen him pull out some underdog wins here and there. So, he's scrappy, but I think we're gonna see Malik get his hand raised in this one.
Okay, go ahead down the line.
So yeah, we got Barboza and Ribovics. So I really like Ribovics here. I think this is a great spot for inside the distance. I think we're going to see a fun, fan-friendly, type fight here. It should be on the feet most of the time. We know what we're going to get from Barboza. I think what we've seen in the last few years is kind of his durability kind of crack a little bit, which is scary for a guy who stands in there and bangs with everybody. So I really like Esteban. I think we're going to, we see quite a age difference here, and I think he's coming into his own. So I would like Ribovics inside the distance. I like him by KO. I think that's a fun way to play that. People like Barboza, we know he's going to bang. We know he has a chance to land a couple and do some damage. We saw him have a nasty knockout of like Billy Q a few years ago and some other stuff. So, it's always it might be worth taking a shot on him, but I think Ribovics does work and does it easy here.
All right, Chidi versus Joel.
Yeah, so Njokuani and Álvarez. I'm definitely on the Álvarez side here. Njokuani, kind of known for his Muay Thai. He's got the elbows, the knees, the clinch work. And then we have someone like Álvarez who, he's looking a little better on the feet. He's definitely more of a ground guy. He's big specimen of a dude too. I think he definitely has the advantage on the ground here. So that's why I'm going to be siding with him. I think we can potentially see this fight finish. So it's going to be I'll be looking at the finish props on the side of either the total or from the Álvarez side. But I don't know. The Njokuani weight cut scares me. He doesn't always look great on the scales. I think he's really, takes all the water out of him. He really sucks himself dry. I hate saying that, but that's the way I always explain it. So.
Donte Johnson's been on the show. I think it was before his last fight, Matt, right?
I think so. Sounds familiar.
Yeah. So Donte Johnson and Eric, where are you leaning?
McConico.
Yeah, I don't know if we skipped Jalin Turner and Kauê Fernandes, but I was going to take Jalin Turner for anyone. He's he's a favorite, but a lot of people are talking about taking the Fernandes side, but I'm not giving up on Turner yet. But Donte Johnson, Eric McConico, I can't put money on McConico, man. He's at a good gym. He's pretty well-rounded dude. He's going to have a size advantage here, I think, on the scales. And when we see him face up next to each other, it's gonna look like he has quite an advantage there from the size standpoint. But I think Donte Johnson's just an athlete. I think, again, it's a guy who's kind of green. We're going to see him grow through each performance. He switched camps. He's over at Extreme Couture now. We see him sparring with Sean Strickland and, getting some good work in. So I see this being a knockout. We've seen McConico's chin go out a few times. I think he's got 4 KOs. He's taken 4 KOs at this point. So I think Donte finds it. I kind of like the guy who's shorter to find the chin. Seems to come a little easier sometimes. Instead of punching down, punching up seems to do the trick. So I'll definitely be on the KO on the Johnson side.
All right. Vicente versus
yeah, I got Luque and Tresean Gore. I don't really know on this one. This is a weird one. I can't believe, Luque is 34 years old. I feel like he's like 40 years and
I was going to say, I thought he was older than that.
Yeah, he's 34, man. It's crazy because I was going through this and I was about to put that as a talking point about his age. but he's not old, so I can't talk about that. The brain thing always scares me. I feel like that's not that it's going to resurface, but I feel like there has to be some, some trauma from that. And I think we've seen him sometimes be cautious of that. And it's, I lost a lot of money on his last fight when he was fighting Gastelum in Miami. Kind of put me in a hole from the get-go. So I probably should have learned my lesson, but I haven't. So I'm picking Tresean Gore. As much as it pains me to say, because I'm not a big fan on that side either, but I think he got a win that he really needed last time out, and I think it's going to change him a little bit. So I'm on the Gore side. I don't know about a finish in this fight. I think he can get it done if he's really dominant. I think he can get it done within the distance, but I don't know if that's a play.
Now, you said you didn't think that he was as old or as young as he is. I have a feeling Neil Magny is older than you think he is.
Yeah. Well, I'm not on the Magny side either, but yeah, he's. I know he's old. Again, though, it's a sketchy fight because you got a guy with the experience of Magny. Again, I'm not liking the optics of Magny in the cage. He's kind of going back and forth on wins and losses. I have a hard time putting my money on Magny. I think the way to look at this fight is an early Brahimaj submission, either round 1, round 2. It's probably going to be not as good of numbers as we probably hope. And then if you want to get tricky with it, then you can put Magny in a round 3 finish decision kind of deal. So there's a way to play this and still make money on either side, I think. But yeah, Brahimaj is known for gassing. He's kind of had this resurgence. He's really strong first round. He kind of can hang in there second round, and then he tends to fade. So honestly, it's a good spot for Magny to come back late, but I don't think he gets through it the first 2 rounds personally.
All right. I know that depending on what list we're looking at, the fights are kind of moved around. I think Jalin Turner, I thought, was in the prelims. So I don't know if they might have moved him, because of the change of opponent, on the other fights. So
yeah, no, I still have him in the prelims, but I think he's a little farther up on the prelims. So, but yeah, the next one, I think the only one we have left is it Jeremiah Wells, Mitzvah Orbai?
Right.
So, yeah, I think this is Orbai all day. But if you look at the line, it's ridiculous. It's he's minus 1,000 still. I was hoping it would come down, but I think it's going to keep going up. This dude is tough as they come. He's a strong grappler. We've seen Jeremiah Wells get taken down 5-6 times in a fight. Takedown defense isn't really there. I think a guy like Orbai can get it done either way. I think he could win a very dominant grappling decision. He can win it by submission. He can win it by knockout. So ultimately, we're going to have to pick a way he wins it if we want to make money on this fight, because taking him by money line in a parlay still isn't going to help anything. So I think we need to look at, if we're looking at from a betting standpoint, Orbai by finish some way or another. I just haven't gotten there completely yet. I would assume it's submission. That's what he tends to do, but I think he could bang it out a little bit and ground and pound and kind of thing. But I'd say let's go with submission.
All right. And before Matt ends the show with the stupid question of the day, what is the number 1 pick that you're going to put out?
So my favorite play is probably, I'm going to say Ribovics by knockout.
All right. There you have it. Write it down.
I'm going to go with Vicente Luque and Neil Magny, since both of those men have been on the back of my truck, trained vertically. It's a good luck charm. It's kind of like, superstitions. So if you got the good luck charm, bet the heavy on those 2 guys.
Here's why I hate when he does this, Jared, because now I have to root against Neil Magny. I don't want to root against him. I like him. He's a nice guy, but no, I can't have him win now.
No, but the cool story about Neil was I didn't know who he was, and he wanted to try the GNAT, so he got up, and I'm like, dude, you're a natural athlete. Like, what do you do? He's like, well, I was a hopeful for the Jamaican track team, but I didn't make it. He's like, but he was a hopeful, and I'm like, wow, like, all right. And then his friends just started laughing. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, they're like, no, man, that's Neil Magny, dude. He fights in the UFC. I was like, no way. Just in a random parking lot in Pinellas County.
Crazy.
He jumped on the back of a Jeep, and it was crazy. So, yeah, put all your shekels on Magny.
Yeah, no, I will not be, but you can. No, again, when you're putting money on stuff, it's different. But when you're just picking from your heart, I understand it. But
Friendship's one thing, cash is another.
That's right. Yeah,
So.
but that's about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything we missed that could be worth value. I mean, I did mention some inside the distance plays. I like Ribovics inside the distance. I like Abdul-Malik inside the distance. I like Ochoa inside the distance. I like Álvarez inside the distance. I like Johnson inside the distance. And then, yeah, that's about it. Just wanted to get those out there. But it's a fun betting card. It's a little chalky again, so we got some big lines. So it's about picking spots here. It's about finding holes in people's games and trying to find a finish at times for these bets. So they'll start to come together here in the next couple days when I really start placing stuff. I've yet to place one bet yet. Coming off Contender Series last night, I was dealing with that, placing stuff on there. So should be getting some stuff in here soon.
All right, there you have it. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be back same time next week. We'll give out details on winning some of these tickets, Fanboy, Tampa Bay Comic Convention. A lot of cool stuff coming up. Continue listening to us on the Tan Talk Radio Network as well as the YouTube channel. Until next week, see ya.